Hello there. Sorry, my microphone was literally on the wrong side of the monitor. How's everyone doing? Oh boy, I literally just finished getting the audio edited for this coming Monday's episode for the primary channel. Literally about 30 seconds ago, so that's why I'm a little out of breath, rushing to get everything taken care of. Is that a new timer animation, or is it? Yeah, that's been there for a little bit. Nothingness. I think we started that at the beginning of the Evil Within 2 stream. Is when we got that going. Ah, boy. How's everybody's Wednesday doing? Let's get all. We do not have a teleport or control point yet for a research sector, so let's run down to the elevator. Nice to see you in here, Space Dog. Actually, it's been a while, hasn't it, that I've caught you in here. Hope everything is going absolutely lovely. Ugh, boy. Alright, so let's get the initial announcements out of the way. So for anyone who's catching the VODs after we upload it from the live stream, throughout the course of the playthrough, what we're going to be doing is if there's any specific topic that we're not going to discuss due to spoiler reasons, if you want to get more details out of it, I'm going to put cards in the top right corner of the screen so you can link out and get the full lectures on that specific topic in case you're curious. That being said, I want to apologize for the first two VODs on this stream because I completely forgot to write down where in the time lapse or where in the video itself I said I was putting the cards up and what the topics were. So I'm going back through them all, trying to find the right ones, but there's going to be a couple individual cards that I say is going to show up that aren't showing up yet. I will get it fixed. If it's an issue, comment with the timestamp and I'll get it taken care of right away. But from here on forward, I'm going to write down those timestamps during the stream so we don't have that issue again. And that's entirely just me not thinking ahead. And that's my opinion of the Bureau Seal right there. Because we all know what I'm shooting at. Right there. Oh, boy. Alright, so last where we left off, we got the Bureau lockdown opened up, so now we have access to all the different sectors. What we're trying to do right now is Emily sent us off to find Helen Marshall, who's supposed to come here to the research sector to secure the HRA production. Now, this is being done so that we can get all the people that are still in the safe rooms out of the safe rooms. Because they're kind of stuck, trapped in there at the moment. With no HRAs, they'll be immediately possessed, so we don't want anyone to leave yet. But once we can manufacture new HRAs, then we can say, hey, here's one, real quick, put it on, get out, now we're going to make use of you. Hey there, Val, how are you doing? I know the board. The thing is, here's my thing with the board nothingness, and let's not talk about that until we get to the Foundation. Spoiler reasons. Hey, Dakoba! I am awake, you're not awake. Dude, it's in the middle of the night, Dakoba. On your end. You're probably exhausted, but I appreciate you stopping by. Hey there, Kenyeda. Alright, so we're good here. So that's where we're going right now. We're trying to locate Marshall so we can get that going. And where we stopped last time was checking out some music down below us. From a certain real-life band. But anyways, now we're ready to go. Let's head into parapsychology. Oh, crap. Hold on. I don't think I have my... I do not! Give me a second before we head into there. Sorry, this is, again, me being unprofessional. I don't have my collectibles list pulled up. So, remedy, control, research, collectibles. There we go. Yep, it's only 3:30. Honestly, I'm used to being up that early. I worked a job for 3 years where all my clients were East Coast, so I had to be up and available to take client calls at 3 a.m. every day.
She's in trouble. I need to reach her.
You do. Let's get going. You went to a choir concert at your community college today. This is for a concert report on my music appreciation. Oh, you're taking music appreciation? That is really cool. I've spent 20 years studying music. I've went to university right out of high school to study jazz performance as a piano major, actually. So it's something I really enjoy. None of your crap. Whoa, where's stuff? Where's stuff? There's stuff. Where the hell did you come from? I don't appreciate you sneaking up on me like that. And somehow I got a 2-for-1 right there. Oh my gosh, I am failing at life right now. Hey you! Whoa! Where'd he go? There. Alright, we good in here? Are you guys done? Are we finished? Because I don't want to deal with another of you guys sniping me in the backside. You were in band in high school? Cool, what'd you play, Space Dog? Oh, SG, you work graveyard shifts, or are you used to it? Like, that's one, honestly, weirdly enough, I do most of my most creative work in the middle of the night. Like, I'll wake up at 1 in the morning or something, and just roll over, go to my office, and have to start writing. For no reason. It just tends to work out that way. Alright, emergency call supplement. So this is based upon... We saw a little bit of this information at the end of the last stream. But let's check the actual transcripts for the event. Transcripts of a call to a California State Emergency Services. 911, what is your emergency? Hello? Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me? I can hear you, ma'am. Where are you? I'm inside the wires. I'm lost. Ma'am, have you been drinking tonight? I feel like I'm stretching through the wire towards you. Don't hang up. I might go if you hang up. Go where, ma'am? Go. Gone. Away. Okay, and can you describe your surroundings? Unknown noise. Ma'am? Hello? Ma'am? Dispatcher attempted to call the number back, but it was no longer in service. This is just a real random thing. So, if we go back to the initial summary of the emergency call, they specify that they might have an idea what caused it, and that it is similar to a specific AWE that occurred previously. Now, what we can tell is that if it's events notable to a similar AWE, this one is labeled as the 18th one, so we know that it must have been AWE 1 to 17. And this is another one right here where we have no clue what happened. So I'm going to keep this down as a pending mystery for the game, because we have no clue what's going on here. Is this secret? No, this is the parakinesthesiology lab, I believe. Or parapsychology lab. Yeah. Parakinesthesiology, yeah, is a little bit later on. We're in parapsychology right now. Because fresh graves would have Bell hooked up in case the person inside wasn't actually deceased. Is that really why they call it graveyard shift? Because of that? Yeah, I know that they used to put bells above graves so that if the quote-unquote deceased ended up not being deceased and was buried alive, they could ring the bell so the gravekeeper could hear them and let them out finally. That way they didn't suffocate, which is a kind of a morbid thought, but... Imagine Alan shoving a woman in a phone line wire to get himself free. Oh, that'd be rough. Anyway, so one thing I wanted to point out while we're here, because I'm rambling at the moment, is we do have an individual here, stuck in this chair, with the hiss infection going all over the place. Now, they will discuss what was going on here a little bit later, but imagine being this guy. You're locked up in a solid room, told, hey, we're going to run some experiments, just sit there and we'll get back to you, and then the hiss invasion happens, and you have no clue what the fuck just happened.
The astral plane. Similar to an iceberg, what you see is not what you always get. Regardless, this place is vitally important to the Bureau. Most information on the astral plane is classified, but we can talk in broad strokes, keeping in mind that these are staggeringly complex systems, and simplification does them no justice. Now, the white non-space, the ever-present inverted black pyramid, the board, all linked, intrinsically tied to the oldest house, tied to the director, the process of choosing a director, tied to all objects of power in terms of who controls them. Yes.
So again here, Dr. Darling is notating that he believes that the Black Pyramid and the board is intrinsically linked in with the oldest house,
The
and
astral plane.
the director in
Similar
general.
to an iceberg, what you see is
We
not
did
what you
read
always
the
get.
counter essay that
Regardless,
Emily
this
wrote
place
up,
is
basically
vitally important
arguing
to the
against that philosophy, or
Most
that
information on
hypothesis,
the
I should say.
astral plane is classified, but we can talk in broad strokes.
There's a hotel in your town that's next to a graveyard, and you swear it's haunted.
Complex
I have a friend from high school that grew up literally on the street right next to the graveyard too. She always reported some weird crap, but yeah. All right, Astral Exhibition. Click. All right, the Astral Exhibition was originally built for the astronauts to use as a training location, a place to grow accustomed to the sights and sounds of the astral plane before diving into the real thing. We could have done a better job, but Darling was being stingy with the budget. However, once we discovered the spike, we decided to repurpose the space. Similar to how zoos keep familiar surroundings will similar to how zoos hope familiar surroundings will affect the well-being of their animals, we hope to observe the astral spike's behavior in an environment similar to its home dimension. So far, it just breaks everything we put in it. But Rome wasn't built in a day. New name conventions have been established for the astral entity, known as astral spike. Outdated terms in this report have been redacted. Oh, okay, so never mind, I lied. So where it says, however, once we discovered the blank, and the blank later, they didn't put astral spike here. That was something else, but they later changed the name to be astral spike. That's where my confusion was. Reminds me of Philip Bonfire Lit. Oh, you got a graveyard across the street from you too. All right, here's the little detail that a lot of people miss. This is part of the recordings of the astronauts after they get debriefed. And this is something they see while inside there. I'm not going to say much more past that. Alright, and we do have... Hold on. Why aren't you activating? Hey. I may need to restart the game because that TV is not activating right now. Give me a second. Let me save reload because that is supposed to be a thing, and I know I will forget to come back here. You played the baritone? Well, are you talking about just a standard, like a baritone brass one, or baritone sax? There's a lot of different baritones. I think you mean like something similar to the euphonium. I started off when I was, I want to say 10, playing the trumpet, but I eventually, when I was 12, started playing piano, and I never stopped from there. There we go. Now the TV's working. All right, here we go.
An early hypothesis was that the mindscape of the astral plane is subjective. But that was fast proven wrong. It's an actual place, not a construct of the
Crap.
mind, even though it is with our minds that we enter and experience it.
Sorry, the game's
But
bugging
then,
out again
one
here.
could
Give me a
argue that
second.
That's the case with all reality. We've been able to record footage of the astral plane by monitoring the brain activity of those experiencing it. That is the only concrete material that has come out of the astral plane expeditions. Apart from one shocking exception. In the astral plane footage...
All right, give me a
we're
second,
always
guys. I'm
in
going to have to
vicinity
reboot the
of
game again.
movement. We've concluded that this, not the entire plane, is what the board controls.
Crap. Sorry. For some reason, this specific Darling presentation bugs my game out every single time I start it. So let's get back into this. Normally what I do is I'll wait a second and then press B to exit, but it seems like no matter what, it freezes the second I open that. No clue why. It's just, it is what it is. And that's also the astral, what is that? What did I just delete? Astral spikes. That's something that I don't think we ever get a definitive understanding of what it is supposed to be, other than it's an entity of pure consciousness. Because, like, it's weird, because, like, this Space Dog, this is literally the only TV in the game that does this to me. And it's happened probably the last 3 or 4 times I played. A brass baritone. Oh, baritone is slightly smaller than euphonium. There we go. Gotcha. It's been a while since I played. Because that's what I played in school too. Hold on. Let me see if we got that multimedia here. Astral Spikes. Let's watch it here so it doesn't freeze it again.
An early hypothesis was that the mindscape of the astral plane is subjective. But that was fast proven wrong. It's an actual place, not a construct of the mind, even though it is with our minds that we enter and experience it. But then one could argue that that's the case with all reality. We've been able to record footage of the astral plane by monitoring the brain activity of those experiencing it. That is the only concrete material that has come out of the astral plane expeditions. Apart from one shocking exception.
Mm-hmm.
In the astral plane footage, we're always in the vicinity of the pyramid. We've concluded that this, not the entire plane, is what the board controls. We have glimpsed movement. Native species, always in the distance, and yet contact was made. We don't have footage of this, a technical malfunction, but when one of our astronauts returned, a brain cloud, an astral fugue, had hitchhiked a ride in his head. It ruptured out, killing the subject in question. It's a relentless predator, pursuing thoughts, minds, lethal to those the entity feeds on. Proper containment protocols are to be observed when dealing with it.
See, it seems weird, because again, this brings up the question about the astral spikes. There's a lot of things to unpack into that video. One, I'm curious why they call it an astral fugue. Since we're talking about music, it's a perfect time. So a fugue is a style of classical composition that is characterized by repeating the same phrase slightly out of phase. So if you play a certain, like an example is you start playing Row, Row, Row Your Boat, you play half of the phrase and then a second instrument comes in and plays the exact same phrase slightly out of phase, and you write the fugue so that the slightly out of phase melodically fits together. So trying to use that concept of being slightly like a repeat out of phase to describe these astral entities kind of confuses me. I'm just curious what everyone else thinks on it. And if we're, you know what you're talking about? We're talking about these bad boys right here.
Keep that thing here.
That's not good. I'll get caught up in chat as soon as we finish this area because I need to pay attention. These things are freaking terrifying. Oh, he's all the way up there. Hello. Hello there, boy. Okay, we got that part done. Come on. Come on. Let's kite you over here. Get in here. Run. 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 Boom. You're locked. And you're locked. Done. Alright, so we're good.
What was the Bureau doing with that thing?
I have no clue. So, just reading your comment, Tao. So my theory on astral spikes is from my understanding of quantum theory. What if the astral plane can be thought of as a field, and spikes are like an extension, excitation of that field? So, the idea of the astral plane can be seen throughout various cultures. There's two primary ones that I've seen.
Damn it! We need backup down here.
Marshall, you're interrupting me. Let's talk to her first, and then I'll finish.
Marshall, are you still there?
Shit. We're so close. We need to hurry.
So, the two primary ones I see for the astral plane is one, it is basically a plane of pure consciousness. So all thought is tied together into that one place. It could be considered a collective consciousness in a certain sense. If we consider quote-unquote God to be the collective mindset of every living thing in existence throughout the entire universe. Or B, is the place where the souls go upon death. So it's kind of like an astral reality where our soul resides, but our physical body remains here. And the two exist in tandem, so to speak. Now, which one this game is going with, who knows? Most likely the one that has to do with consciousness. Because, again, we talk about the astral spikes being an entity that are entities that feed off of consciousness, so to speak. So it seems more likely that's where they're going with it. But who knows? Hit it. Get rid of the heals. There we go. No more heals. Come on, boy. Crap. Crap. I'm messing this up. I'm messing this up. I need to go get some heals. Why am I failing at this? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm going to finish these guys out before we continue onwards. Why do I feel like I'm missing them every time I do that? Oh, that's right, because I don't have the ability yet that lets me deal damage when doing that. Never mind. Go. Not good. Where's everybody? Okay, we got two guys. Let's take these boys out first. Whoa! Ah, stop throwing shit at me, you jackass! Alright, give me a second. Let's see if I can pull this off. Woo! Run! Okay, at least we got something out of that endeavor. Good. Nope, we got one more. Done. Okay, we good? We good. Let's go grab this, and then we'll continue on that discussion. You've read some of Robert Monroe's books about the astrals. Say there are layers corresponding to levels of awareness. Trippy stuff. That is interesting. Like, you mean degrees of consciousness?
We've fallen back to the luck department. All agents are ordered to converge here.
Okay, cool. We're back to the luck department. Before we do that, let's read some of the stuff we just picked up. So we just got the Hiss cluster. That one right there. Perfect. Click. Hey there, Jerkafox. What's going on? That's the barrier. This one right here. Okay, so the Hiss clusters are the guys that heal everybody if they're in the area. So Hiss clusters are unique in that they are concentrated manifestations of Hiss resonance without the need of a host. Hiss clusters are dense spherical compressions of Hiss resonance that serve support functions in the hierarchy of Hiss entities. I cannot read today. The clusters are capable of replenishing Hiss hosts with infusions of resonance. This does not heal any physical damage inflicted upon the organic host, but rather seems to rejuvenate them, allowing them to endure more bodily harm than normally possible. The fact that the Hiss makes an effort to preserve its corrupted hosts underlies a level of awareness and discretion that was previously just speculation on my part. Can this Hiss entity be considered an individual or simply an extension of the Hiss as a whole? Capturing one alive would be very interesting. And again, that's just the in-game explanation with, hey, we got these little balls that heal people, kill them so they don't heal everybody else. No, we don't have the C's yet. We're actually, literally in 2 seconds, are about to pick up the C's. But for right now, let's clear up this stuff. Precognitive powers. Yep, and click. We got quite a bit of reading in this area, so stick with me. Alright, Nadine, send this to research for analysis. Respond my precognitive powers. Urgent. Dr. Darling, last night I had a dream. In the dream, I was given a solution to a staffing problem I've been presented with just yesterday. The problem is of a confidential nature and must therefore remain unclarified here, but I can assure you that the method through which I received this helpful information was undeniably paranatural. I can only draw the conclusion that I possess exceptional precognitive abilities, and as such offer my services to the Bureau's research team. You must utilize my powers for the greater good. Signed, Mr. Francis Bertram. And I'm sorry, Mr. Francis Bertram, you are more than likely incorrect in this assessment. You do not have any paranatural abilities. So this right here is a concept, weirdly enough, since we're talking about music tonight, I use this technique that I'm about to describe in my performance all the time. So it is very normal for you to have a dream about a solution to a problem that you've been mulling over and you've been worrying about throughout your waking life. And it's only when you're in that unconscious state of your dreamscape that the solution comes to you. Because let's be honest, unconsciously you already have the solution, you just haven't consciously realized what that solution is yet. Now, speaking about music, what I would used to do during my practice sessions is if I had a song that I needed to really quickly learn and get the muscle memory down, is I would play for about an hour and then immediately turn off my piano and then go to sleep. And during my dream state, because I have the music in my head, when I go to bed, when I wake up an hour later, flip over to go back to my piano, I actually know how to play the song better than I did when I went to sleep, because my brain was working on it while I was dreaming. And it's actually a legitimate technique you can use to help with memorization and other things like that. It's really kind of odd, but let's just say your brain still works while you're sleeping, even though it doesn't feel like it. Maybe the astral spikes are like spikes on a graph. Maybe if the board can't attach an idea to an archetype, there's an excess of that idea which manifests as natural spike. See, I look at these very similar to, let's say, the spiders from Alan Wake's American Nightmare. They're kind of native species of this threshold, whether it be the astral plane or dark places in the Alan Wake situation. Where it's, like in that one, the spiders were just unconscious fears and impulses, basically random thoughts. I see the spikes as the same thing, but they're trying to consume minds. So it's something they're attracted to. It's like, I don't know. Like if they do obey the pyramid's orders, then that would imply something completely different. But I have no clue. It's something that I've never figured out personally. All right, the sensory tank purpose. Where are we? Delete. Alright, Darling here. Some of you were curious why I had these sensory deprivation tanks installed. I thought I'd shed some light on the subject. Maybe some of you have heard of a Dr. Yoshima Takui, the man behind the hugely popular guided imagery experience tapes. Apparently, his tapes go beyond the normal meditative qualities of such things, but create genuine hallucinatory visions in some listeners, or so the reports say. We brought these tanks in to test Dr. Takui's tapes for ourselves. Plus, there may have been some stress-relieving use for the staff down the road. I think we could all benefit from some time in the dark and closed space, don't you? If you have any more questions, feel free to stop by my office. You know where it is. Even having prophetic dreams is considered normal. The Francis guy is taking himself very seriously. I don't know if I think it's partially that Mr. Francis here is taking himself seriously, but also, too, if he can advertise to the Bureau that he has extra benefit or he has an extra skill set that is valuable, he may be able to angle for promotion or a pay raise or something along those lines. That's rule number one in business. And if you're an employee trying to get increase your standing, is make yourself valuable. Give yourself a skill set that no one else in the company has. Therefore, you are unique and are worth the money. So I think it's partially the two. He's taking himself seriously and trying to angle for a promotion. But that's just me. Alright. Dr. Takui investigation. Dr. Yoshimi Takui, a Japanese citizen residing in Tokyo, has produced a series of guided imagery experience audio recordings that have gained notable popularity around the globe. Due to his unusually swift rise in fame, along with reports of vivid hallucinations accompanying the use of his tapes, investigation sector staff were asked to look into Dr. Takui's background. We found no past incident with an altered occurrence, nor any evidence of involvement with an altered organization. See, they're already referencing altered organizations this early, and I completely missed it. Anyways, however, agents that attended a signing event reported, maybe again, hallucinations when hearing Dr. Takui speak. We recommend that the research team obtain an audio recording of Dr. Takui's voice and perform any and all relevant analyses. Based on the findings, the investigation sector will determine the next steps regarding Dr. Takui, as well as his eligibility for the Prime Candidate program. Like climbing on roofs is only employees that can, right? Actually, weirdly enough, Takoba, I am the only guy at my company, the only inspector in my company that can do roofs. So I know that feeling very well. I'm literally the only one that can do it. One, because some of them have legitimate diagnosed vertigo, and some of them don't have the same liability and training that I do. But whatever. Alright. Alright, so give me a second, guys, because unfortunately this side quest that is presented in this room is not available in any version of this game other than the PS4 version, which obviously we're not playing, so we don't have access to this Dr. Takui thing. Now, that being said, I did record all of them, and let me see if I have the video files on my computer. Because if I do, then we are gonna close out the game real quick and watch them. Yes, the investigation sector is the closed one from the one of the DLCs. I'm doing good, Draco. How are you doing? Let's go save real quick, and then I'm going to... And then I am going to pull up the... I'm not talking well tonight. I'm going to go into my thumb drive and see if I have the files there, because if so, we are going to go check those out. But let me just get a quick save state. Alright, 2 seconds, because I want to show this off, as not a lot of players actually look at it. So here we go, 2 seconds. I just found them. I'll be right back with it. Alright. So it's going to take a little bit because I'm saving it from my other computer to my thumb drive, so it's going to take a couple minutes for it to transfer over. So let's do one more section here and keep looking at collectibles while we wait for that to download. Here we go. Astronaut information. Alright. Astronaut information, there we go. Okay, this report serves as an introductory guide to the astronaut program, including candidate requirements, training practices, and astral research procedures. Astronauts are chosen individuals who explore and document the astral plane by making physical contact with the X-ray light box. See case file OOP 18 for details. In the Hypnosis Lab, a section of the Parapsychology Division, physical and psychological training is vital for the repeated transitions between planes known as dives. After each dive, astronauts must undergo a debriefing session in the cognitive recording chair to record their experience in the plane. Gathering data has proven that something within the astral plane proven that the landscape maybe within the astral plane vary widely between astronauts. On rare occasions, these dives can result in losses. often occurring when the teams encounter aggressive astral entities. Now, I'm curious how radically different these astral plane experiences are from one another. Like, is the whole idea... Like, we know that the white background is very common, the black pyramid is always common, but... I mean, how radically different is it? Can't be that bad. Alright, groupthink. This is another interesting document right here. I don't know why the mission isn't available for everyone else, to be honest, Art Master. It just seems weird. Because it's honestly pretty cool. Granted, it has nothing to do story-wise. It's just a really visually cool thing to look at. But let's look at this first. Alright, so this is another one that's compiled by Paula Bront by order of Emily. So, we don't know when this happened. This study extends the work of Irving Janis, Robert Barron, and others proposing strong causal links between groupthink and the passive or active use of telepathy. To prove these connections, the Parapsychology Department carries out variations of the Solomon Asch's original conformity experiments using a telepathic individual as the subject. See experiments something for details. Now, that's something I actually need to look into. Who is Solomon Asch? I'll look that up at some point. Alright, extensive qualitative and quantitative data resulting from these experiments was then used to identify telepathic interference within the group. Further empirical findings suggest measures can be taken to safeguard against telepathic influence on behaviors by engaging in something. So, what this part's essentially saying is that you can actually guard your own psyche from telepaths who are trying to influence or look at your head by using some form of warding, like a mental ward. Rather boldly, this paper stands to revolutionize decades of groupthink theory and prove new directions for further experimentation on the mind, including manipulation of blank and blank. Now, groupthink definitely is a thing for real, not necessarily the telepathic aspect of it, but mob psychology is a simple explanation of groupthink right there. So if there's 99 people in a crowd that are in thinking one way, then the one person who is out of it may just conform with the group and become part of the groupthink. I mean, there's enormous pressure on the individual to conform with that group, and it takes a lot of willpower to stay outside of it. So we're going to run back here real quick, because I wanted to point something out before we get into the Dr. Takui stuff. I'm running. Son of a... Oh, I lied. This is the Parakinesthesiology Department. I lied. I am completely wrong with what I was about to show off. You ignore me. I apparently don't know this game as much as I think I did. As much as I thought I did, I should say. And apparently, when my first gut instinct saying that was parakinesthesiology was accurate. And I corrected myself to be wrong. Whatever. Jump. Over and down. Alright, so we're going to come back here. Let me switch my thumb drive back over, and we'll take a look at this. 2 seconds. Yeah, I know I missed the loot box. It's just, I don't care too much, to be honest. Alright, BRB. Alright, everyone. So, forgive me for the terrible video quality on this. This is recording off my PS4, so it has a lower resolution than everything else. But this is my recordings of the Dr. Takui Yoshima side quest, so here we go. Actually, I lied. I needed to go get the tape. So basically what happens is you have a recording here. Let's get this started. Where are we at? First things first, it says this is the quest. Jesse discovers the existence of a guided imagery experience tapes created by a man, and we have to go collect each of the 2 tracks. So there's digital recording, or not digital, but tape recordings that appear during the side quest. So one is right here in the HRA lab that only appear if you accept the quest. Let's head back over here.
To be interesting.
Here we go.
Welcome to my guided imagery experience. Lesson 1. Morito no Taure. Exercise 1. The forest of positive interaction.
私は徳井義美博士。
Let me know if the audio is good.
任せてください。
My name is Dr. Yoshimi Tokui. Trust my words. I'm here for you.
目を閉じて心を開いてください。あなたは浜辺に一人佇んでいます。誰もいない静かな浜辺。
Close your eyes, open your mind, and find yourself on an empty beach.
さざ波の音が聞こえ、遠くにカモメが見えます。ポテトチップスの袋をつついてますね。
The waves are rolling in, and the seagulls are fighting over a discarded bag of potato chips.
ハラペーニョ味のようです。
I think I was trying to turn the audio up here a little bit. Oh yeah, brighten it up because it is dark. Never mind.
I believe they're jalapeno flavored.
沖の方に何か見えます。森が海の上に浮かんでいます。
I see something in the middle of the ocean. They appear to be trees.
もしかしたら人を遠ざけようとする今のあなたの気持ちを暗示しているのかもしれません。
Perhaps they are ocean trees. Or perhaps they are metaphors for how you push people away.
それが何なのか一緒に探してみましょう。波の方に近づいてみてください。
Let's find out together. Just walk over the waves, friend.
森は寂しそうです。話しかけてみませんか？
The trees look lonely. Why don't you talk to them?
Hello, trees. Can I sing to you as well?
森にささやきかけましょう。あなたは愛されるに値すると、誰もが愛されるに値すると、森もうなずいています。
You whisper to the trees. You tell them that they deserve love, that everyone deserves love. The trees agree.
木々は健康になり、お互いに愛を育んでいくのでしょう。
They will now go on to form healthy, respectful relationships with other trees or shrubs, whatever they prefer.
さあ、森をそっとしておいてあげましょう。
Now let's leave these trees to their love.
覗き見は失礼ですからね。
Voyeurism is
お
impolite.
や、何か不穏なものを感じます。何でしょう？
I sense a disturbance in our love garden. A menace.
行ってみましょう。森の危機かもしれません。行ってみましょう。
Go find it. Do not let it darken our forest of emotions.
フォークリフトです。この森にはふさわしくありません。巨大なタイヤでビーチが荒らされてしまいます。
A forklift. It does not like the tree's romance. It is ruining our lovely beach with its hateful tires.
なんということでしょう。機械を止めてください。あのカモメには家族がいます。
It ran over one of the gulls. Such bloodshed. Turn off the machine. That gull had a family.
さっきのポテトチップスはお腹に赤ちゃんがいる奥さんへのプレゼントでした。あの機械を止めなければ。
The potato chips were for his pregnant wife. The forklift must be stopped.
So this is what happens when you take all of the LSD. Let's be honest. What the fuck,
やりましたね。
forklifts?
あの恐ろしい機械は止まりました。
You did it. The murderous machine will kill no more. The trees can love undisturbed.
フォークリフトも孤独な木々ももうありません。 あなたの心は安らぎと慈愛に満たされているはずです。
Our beach is no place for forklifts or lonely trees. Your mind is a safe haven for love.
心が穏やかに健康になった感じはありますか？
Doesn't that feel nice? Aren't you feeling healthier?
さて、もう時間のようです。感受性の豊かなあなたのままでいてください。
Oh my, it seems we're all out of time. Stay receptive, friend.
That actually was relaxing. And strangely insightful.
Mm-hmm. So the Japanese voice right there, oddly enough, is Hideo Kojima of Metal Gear fame. So canonically, Dr. Takuya Hideo Kojima exists in the Remedyverse canonically. Isn't that amazing? Which is funny because around the same time when Death Stranding came out is around when this game came out, and Sam Blake makes an appearance in that game as well, in Death Stranding. So they kind of jumped into each other's works for the fun of it. Anyways, okay, that's the first one. Now let's go find that. I forgot where we left it. Here we are. So here's number 2.
Embracing the erratic.
Not as pretty, but
What is
definitely
this for?
something.
Welcome to my guided imagery experience.
レッスン2、気まぐれを受け入れるです。
Exercise 2. Embracing the erratic.
私は徳井義美博士。私を信じて任せてください。
My name is Dr. Yoshimi Tokui. Trust my words. I'm here for you.
目を閉じて心を開いてください。想像してみてください。あなたは閑散とした浜辺にいます。
Now, close your eyes, open your mind, and find yourself on a deserted beach.
Sure.
波が
You like beaches,
岩に
don't you?
打ち寄せ、カモメたちが旋回しながら近づいてきます。
The waves are crashing against the rocks, and the gulls are circling overhead, drawing ever closer.
カモメたちが怖いですか？大丈夫。彼らは危害を加えません。
Are you scared of birds? If so, please try not to be.
自動販売機があります。あなたは喉が
I'm with you on that, SJ.
Look, a vending machine. You must be thirsty.
さあ、渇きを潤しに行きましょう。
Let us go quench your thirst.
Seriously, sensory deprivation takes on so much fun. There's some establishments around where I'm at that actually let you have that experience. They'll have them set up.
They have your favorite soda. You know the one. Press the button.
What's your favorite soda, guys? Poll in chat. What's your favorite soda? What would be in this?
自動販売機が逃げていきます。追いかけてください。
The machine has run off with your favorite soda. Chase it.
You jerk! Orange soda? I'm torn between cream soda and ginger beer.
さあ頑張って。あれはあなたが世界で
Ginger
一
beer
番
is
好きな
amazing.
飲み物です。
Fight for it. This is your favorite soda in the whole world.
人を殺してでも手に入れる、それくらい好きなはずです。急いで走ってください。
The soda you kill a man for. Hurry, run.
Soda is a lie.
ソーダが出てきました。やった。
The soda tumbles out. Victory.
あ、ちょっと待ってください。これは違う種類です。
But wait, it's not the right kind.
いや、このソーダを試してみましょう。
I guess you have to try something new.
きっと気に入るはずです。
Go on. You might like it.
美味しいですよね。新しいお気に入りができました。
How delicious. This is your new favorite soda.
新しいものに挑戦するときこそ人生の一番素敵な部分を発見できます。
When you try new things, you sometimes discover the best of life has to offer.
それがソーダのレッスンです。
That's
a soda lesson for you.
今度は
Soda lesson, everyone.
別の自意識に目を向けてみましょう。
Ah, another personal realization awaits.
走ってください。運動することは良いことです。
Hurry over. Run. Exercise is good for you.
So who would all like to see me do a full lecture on just these 2 guided meditations for Dr.
したい
Takui?
です。いつもだったらとてもびっくりしますよね。
It's a dead person. This would normally be quite an upsetting thing to find, yes?
心配しないで。あなたは安全です。
Do not worry. You are safe.
ちょっと死体に触ってみませんか。
Why don't you try touching the dead person?
面白いことが起きるかもしれません。
It could be interesting.
なんてことだ。死体がたくさん出てきました。どこから来たんでしょう。
Oh, merciful gods. Dozen of more corpses appeared. Where did they come from?
ひどい匂いです。恐ろしい。ここはもう今までの浜辺ではありません。
Oh, the stench. The horror. This beach will never be the same.
なんで死体になんて触ったんですか。はあ、最悪の間違いを犯しましたね。
Why did you touch the dead person? You made a grave mistake.
死体を隠して間違いを正してください。
Fix your mistake by hiding it.
死体を埋めて腐敗した心をきれいにしてください。
Bury these bodies. Clean your mind of the rot.
This actually reminds me of a scene in I Heart Huckabees. If anyone's seen that film. It's basically a mental technique used to try to clear negative thoughts out of your head. It's just a visualization you do to help out with it.
恐ろしい体験でしたね。でもまた一つ学びました。
That was scary, wasn't it? And yet, you learned another lesson.
怖いものには理由があります。
You're scared of some things for a reason.
本能に耳を傾けて、世界は気まぐれで冷たいという事実を認めてください。
Listen to your instincts. Accept that the world is random and cold.
恐怖は役に立つものです。
Fear is useful.
たくさんの学びがありました。良い学びも悪い学びも。
Lots of good lessons today. Some things are good, some are bad.
少しは人生の残酷さに対処できると思いません
Don't you
か。
feel more prepared for uncaring cruelty of life?
私はできるようになりました。
I know I do.
これでセラピーを終わります。
This concludes my guided imagery therapy.
あなたは徳井義美博士に認められました。これでこの荒れ狂う世界を探検できるはずです。
You are now approved by Dr. Yoshimi Tokui to explore this rotating rock we call Earth.
幸運を祈ります。歩みを止めず旅を続けてください。徳井義美でした。
Good luck, Star Wanderer.
Star
Stay
Wanderer.
actualized.
Stay
We'll see you
actualized.
next time.
Actualization, yep. Bring the unconscious to the consciousness.
Jesse fucking Faden. You're the best, Dr. Yoshimi.
Alright, so that is that. Let's close that out and then switch back to the main game. So, for anyone who hasn't seen that yet, there we go. That's the Dr. Takui PS4 exclusive side quest. Alright, so, because apparently there is some desire for it, by the time I do eventually make the video on what we just saw there, I will put a card link to it up in the top right. If it's not there yet, that just means I have not yet done it yet. So let's go ahead, and it's going to be 59 minutes into the recording. There we go. Alright. So yeah, if it's not up there, that means I haven't made it yet, but if you watch this after I create it, it will be right there for you all. So there's a technique in that film, I Heart Huckabees, where basically you imagine yourself standing next to a tree, and in the tree you put someone that you really respect. It can be like a teacher, it can be a parent, it can be a anybody. It can be an author, whoever you respect and you trust and feel safe around. And what you do is you imagine them sitting up there in that tree holding a vacuum cleaner. And anytime that you have negative thoughts pop in, you imagine that individual sucking up those thoughts with a vacuum cleaner. And that's how you keep them out of your head. That's just a visualization they used in that movie. But this one right here with the corpses seems very similar to that. Alright, recording chair procedures. No, that was me laughing for real, Space Dog. I did not record my voice when I did that. That was just me getting regular assets when playing the game. And I think there's a motorcycle driving by me right now. Sorry about that. In case anyone heard any of those shenanigans. Delete, save, and we're good. Okay. Before using the recording devices, please ensure the following safety measures are met. Ensure the volunteer is securely fastened to the chair. Ensure the hood is placed over the volunteer's head. This will prevent the volunteer from taking in visual stimuli during the recording process, which can lower the quality of the captured footage. This also prevents recording technicians from viewing the volunteer's face, which undergoes muscle spasms during the recording that some consider upsetting. Check if the volunteer is comfortable. Activate the recording apparatus. After recording is complete, check the volunteer's cognitive ability using the provided questionnaire. Reminder, do not be alarmed if the length of the recording footage exceeds the volunteer's period of unconsciousness. Astral dilation is known to be an issue. If any problems arise during this process, contact your supervisor. And this is our in-lore or in-game explanation of why some of the Hiss Elevated, the guys that fly around, are sitting in chairs and have hoods over the heads. It's because they were infected at a time when they were currently undergoing these kinds of debriefs for the astronauts. And just the idea they have through in there that this is about time dilation, so an astronaut can go in for an hour, come back, and said, I spent a week in that place. I was literally in there for a week. But from any outside observer, they only noticed it for 1 hour. Yep. Alright, before we really head and do more stuff, let's take a look and see what we got for us. I'm pretty sure we can make some more stuff now. Yeah, so we just did the entire Dr. Takui side mission, which is PS4 exclusive, Draco. If you're curious about it, you can check out the VOD after the fact. Alright. So let's see what we got. We can get a Pierce. Nice. Okay, which is honestly a freaking awesome weapon. But let's check out a few things. What do we got? Pierce, zoom, damage. Ooh, yeah, let's play around with that for a little bit. Damage after kills. What do we got? So 15% damage, 30% against enemies. Don't need that. What about you? This is damage in general. Don't need that either. So this is energy recovery, speed. Yeah, let's throw that in there. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. What are you? So that is 12 versus 14. Let's go ahead and upgrade that. Don't need you. Don't need you. That would be good later on once I start getting some more stuff. Yeah, let's hold on to that for the time being. By the way, if everyone questioned if you would work at the Bureau... Wait. By the way, everyone questions if you was working at the Bureau of Control. Sorry for spelling. No worries. Before and after the Hiss invasion, what would you do? Ooh, that is a good question, Draco Fox. And unfortunately, I cannot answer that right now because I don't want to spoil something. I have not thought about that whatsoever, and I can't say much on that, wink wink. That being said, I really hope to show off some stuff I've been working on. Alright, here we go. Hypnosis Lab. Let's get into it.
I see it. Another object of power? They're just standing there, mesmerized by it.
Interesting. Hello, guys. What you doing? Oh, shit! Oh, fuck! I'm sorry! I didn't mean to murder someone! I mean, you're not Hiss possessed, you're just, like, mind controlled. Oh god, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Space Dog. I didn't mean to murder my own people. I didn't know that was possible. Normally in this game, when you point at someone that's, like, when that turns green, it won't let you shoot. Fuck! Honestly, Jerkafox, though, I think a lot of people who live through this is going to need a lot of therapy. Alright, before we head into this, let's just wargame this for a moment. First and foremost, this building has no windows and no natural sunlight. What that means is you're going to have what's otherwise known as seasonal depressive disorder because you have low vitamin D and melanin intake as a result of not having direct sunlight, both of which are used for regulating good moods. Now, this is normally taken care of because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be able to go home at the end of the day and get your normal sunlight D and melanin. Or, sorry, not melanin, melatonin. That's what I meant. Melatonin and vitamin D. Now, since they're locked in here without that, that means that they're going to have a deficiency of vitamin D and melatonin, which will lead to poor moods and other kinds of anxiety as a result of it. Also, you have the constant anxiety of if these HRIs break, we may, for example, become possessed, and that could happen at any time. Who knows what the hell would happen in that situation? So these people are under an enormous amount of stress even when something's not going on. Plus, toppled with the idea that you don't know when you're going to be allowed to leave. Lots of bullshit. Lots of bullshit. Anyways. Let's go. Another Newton's Cradle over here. There we go. It's interesting, Space Dog. I've been looking at a lot of studies with the, recently, actually in the last month or so, about the effects, the health benefits of actually getting sunlight. And because of modern times, I want to say starting in the 50s or 60s, I think, the rates of vitamin D in people and vitamin D and melatonin in the bodily systems have actually been decreasing rapidly. Because instead of working outside like we used to back in the day, like running fields and stuff like that, we're working inside in office spaces where we don't have ready access to sunlight. So as a result, our Americans specifically, I'm not sure about other countries, but I know Americans specifically are chronically deficient in vitamin D, which is a huge thing to help regulate general health. Because we don't go outside, we work inside, and when we're driving around, we're in cars with windshields that block the sunlight, so we, again, lose out on all that shit. Anyways, it's just some medical stuff I've been looking at on the side recently and applies to this.
Please state your name for the record. Please state your name for the record.
Paul Warren, astronaut, first class.
And you are aware that exposure to the astral plane can result in death, disability, personal injury, corporeal untangling, cognitive collapse, loss of ego, and partial to full dementia?
Yeah. I am.
And you acknowledge that your use of the astral conduit, aka the X-ray light box, is purely voluntary?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Your suit is good?
Yeah.
Okay, you're all set. Open the door for Mr. Warren, please.
I'm sorry, if anybody absolutely said that to me when I was getting ready to go into a procedure, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not okay with that. Why? Is that the actual risk? I can have cognitive collapse and loss of ego? Yeah, I'm good. Time for a career change at that point. Honestly, SG, people who are chronically deficient in D and you don't take supplements to bring that back up, you are at a higher risk for all manner of diseases, to be 100% honest. It's a huge thing to help regulate in general health. So, if you work inside and you don't get enough sunlight, I'd recommend vitamin D supplements. I am not a doctor, but do your own research, look at it. Alright, before we go into this, I do need to snap a photo of this. Alright, so this is the only way you'll actually see this because the physical document in the game does not specify this. But the patient that was in the room when this object of power was created, because remember, at some random point, this random standard normal X-ray light box was altered and became this OOP that we are seeing right now. At the time when that happened, we had a patient called Cage M. So first name was probably M, last name Cage. Who the hell this person is, we have no freaking clue, but it was at St. Anne's Hospital. This right here is going to be another mystery that we'll probably never learn. It's an M, not a N. If it was an N, I'd say Nicolas Cage too, Dakoba. 100%. Nicolas Cage. Michael Cage. Yeah, no clue who this person is, but definitely an open mystery out there. Let's go. It's his son. It's Nicolas Cage's son, Michael. I thought I had a frozen pixel there for a second. Alright, let's go. Michael Cage, the little-known brother of Nick. This is canon. No one can tell me otherwise. Crap. There we go. Oh god, this sucks. Because you have to, 1, try not to kill them, and 2, try not to die at the same time. I need more of these guys. There's one right there. Ow! Stop hurting me! Okay, give me those. Hold on, guys. Let me walk in front of you. Whoop. There we go. So now we officially have the ability to control minds. Now, what is it about the archetypal object that is an X-ray light box, something that scans the human consciousness, or maybe not consciousness, that scans the matter of the human brain that translates to mind control? Alright, we're good. That is something that's interested me on this specific one. Yeah, something that scans... Okay, which is it? Sorry, I'm trying to remember. Is it the X-ray or the MRI? No, the MRI is the one that directs the electrons inside the body to move upward because it's a huge magnet. It's the X-ray that just peers through. So what does it have to do with mind control? Being able to see through. And they all fell.
Their brains were fried when I took over the object.
So let's just say that the one gentleman over here that I accidentally shot, maybe he got it off easy because he was unconscious when he died. These guys, their brains were fried. So I'm not saying I did a good thing by saving him some pain, but don't judge me too harshly. Run away. Because we're captivated by medical information. Bloodborne players know what I mean. Wait. Nicolas Cage. I've played Bloodborne and I do not remember anything about it, so I can't even say anything nothingness. I always wanted to play Bloodborne, but it was always Dark. But you wanted to play Dark Souls first? Oh my god. I don't know if I could ever, like, get into the full Dark Souls series. Not because because of the difficulty, just because it's so much of a commitment. I'll be 100% honest. There's just so much to consume, and it's so dense in terms of its narrative and its world building that I don't know if I could have the time for it. You know the conspiracy theories about mind control through transmission of radio waves? Yeah, I've seen stuff like that. At least conspiracy theories regarding using subconscious frequencies throughout television and radio waves for the purpose of mind control. Mostly because I watched a lot of X-Files growing up, so of course I was exposed to that stuff.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Who is this?
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm coming to help.
Faden. Hold on. I'm setting the elevator for you. We need to talk.
You got that right.
More of you? Really?
Yep. Oh, sorry, you're already dead. You're already dead. Crap, I'm trying not to kill you guys in one shot. But I guess we're doing it. Alright, we got our sniper. Let's go. Oh my god, run away! Get out! God, Jesus! That could have gone better. That really could have gone better, but whatever, we survived. Yeah, it does reveal the mind in terms of the X-ray. It shows what's going, because it's not just, well, it's not just the mind though. It shows what's going on beneath the surface. So it shows the bones of the body as well, not just the head, so to speak. So I'm just
waiting for you in the Luck Lab, just down the hall.
I'm just curious what the concept of seeing beneath the surface relates to mind control or bedazzlement or whatever. You hate Boomy Boys in any games? Gotcha. Hey, Dean, any childhood shows you still like watching because nostalgia or something else? Oh, boy. Childhood shows. Okay, no one judged me for this, but probably the only childhood show that I still watch this day. Actually, maybe two. So there's this old cartoon called, I think it's called Fairies, that I watched all the time. Actually, my sister watched it all the time, and I watched it as a result. And sometimes we'll play. It's like a 40-minute little mini thing. It's really cool though. But probably the only like cartoon that I watched still to this day. No one judged me for this. The original Digimon. I grew up on the original Digimon, and I love that shit, regardless of how good or bad it may be. Gravity Falls, oh my god. Seriously, Isaac, my best friend is the biggest Gravity Falls dork. He went out and bought all their merch. He has the third journal, and he's just... so much shit. Like, my obsession with the Remedyverse is his obsession with the Gravity Falls, and let's leave it at that. Dude, right on, Dakoba. Thank you. Digimon's badass. Yeah, the original Digimon. The first two seasons... Actually, Season 3 is pretty good, too. So I'd say the first 3 seasons. After that, I really don't care at that point. But anyways. Alright, the Rubber Duck Supplement. This one has some good world building in it. Discovered in the home of Agent Redacted after his young daughter complained about being followed by her rubber duck. According to Agent so-and-so, the matter was ignored, believed to be the results of a child's imagination until he began to hear the quacking at night. After discovering the item hiding in his daughter's closet, he brought it to the Bureau for study. Update. It was discovered that Agent so-and-so was bringing home paranatural materials into his home, illegally taking them from outside the oldest house. How this may have affected the creation of an altered item is being investigated. Agent so-and-so has been terminated. Alright, so right here, this is our second time we mentioned that paranatural materials, altered materials, has something to do with the process of altered item creation. This first time we saw this was in, where is it, case files? We'll look at the X-ray light box in a second. Maybe it's not, maybe it's research and records. Research, collective unconscious, group think, paranatural, urban legends. So right here in the second paragraph here, or the last paragraph, it does specify that. No, first paragraph. Fuck, I can't even read. Urban legends are believed to affect the creation of altered materials, but can also dictate the characteristics of an altered world event. So as a result, those altered materials, as shown here, were instrumental in creating the duck. So we know that it is one ingredient in its creation. That being said, if you want to see the full video on this, I do have a video on altered item and object of power creation, which I will throw in the top right of the thing. Let me just write this down so I remember the timestamp. Is 1 hour and, let's say, 25 seconds. 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 25 seconds. Perfect. Sailor Moon. My sister watched Sailor Moon all the time. And so I watched a little bit of it growing up because she always had it on. I don't remember much of it, though. Courage the Cowardly Dog was your intro into horror, because I don't know if the show is classified as a kid show. Funnily enough, yes, that is classified as a kid show, which is odd. I never watched it. After a certain point, growing up, I was of that generation that I watched Rugrats, I watched Ren and Stimpy, and I watched Doug growing up. Those were the big three on Nickelodeon at the time. Alright. So before we do anything, we need to sequence break the game just a second. Chalk Zone? I don't remember that. I mean, like, I watched, like, Guts and shit like that, too, which was awesome. Okay. So, we're gonna have to do a few sequence breaks right here before we go see Marshall. We're supposed to wait until we get a new object of power, but let's do this. Crap! Okay, I'm dying. Shit! Let's pretend that never happened. Let's pretend that never happened. Okay, that's death 3. Shit, I actually have a... Basically, you're supposed to hop off and then just dodge right into that thing. Alright, let's try this again and not die. There we go. 1 ability point achieved. Teen Titans? Nice. Alright. Boom. Now, with that taken care of, let's go head up and teleport back up there. Shit. Wrong place. Generator Rex? I've never heard of that one. And yes, in case anyone is curious, the reason why my sense of humor sometimes is what it is because I grew up on freaking Ren and Stimpy. And everyone should know that is not a child-appropriate cartoon. Whatsoever. No, Ben 10 was after my time of watching cartoons, SG. So I missed a lot. Like, if anything, after probably 1999 or 2000, I probably don't know. Just to be 100% honest.
Welcome to the party, ma'am. Marshall is right down the hall.
Where is it? I think there's another sequence break we can try to do, but I think we have to wait until a little bit later. Where is it? There it is! There's the sequence break. Okay. Sorry. Alright, wish me luck on this. Boom! Here we are. Lovely. Yeah, Ren and Stimpy was definitely a fucking thing. Alright, here we go. This is for 2 collectibles and another hidden location, so let's do this. And have fun.
It's done. With just one large-scale HRA. It's an easy choice, no choice. It's there now. Protecting the most important thing from what's coming. I'll be there inside, locked in, ready to be blown away. Commencing countdown engines. Ready for the journey. To be blown, flying into the model. Ready to see. To understand.
I wouldn't really say it's too much of a spoiler because we don't have a lot of context for it, but I take your point that maybe not the best thing to watch right now, and that's my bad entirely. Why is he shaking, has no clothes? Let's just say he's freaking out. This is kind of the second time we've seen Dr. Darling freaking out. The first one was, where is this? Go back up. Is this one right here, I believe. Where he's literally drunk off his ass.
I've been
freaking out about some shit.
Questions recently regarding HRAs. What are they for? Do you always need to wear them?
So we've already seen that Dr. Darling has a mental decline. Now, I would... Oh, gee! No, crap! Shit. There was 2 more things up there we needed to get, and I completely fucked that up. Anyways. Wait, dude, so let me give you a small run. Basically, the show is about the explosion sending thousands of nanobots all over, inside everything, human, plants, animals, and mutates them. What show are you talking about, Draco Fox? Let's go back up to Central Research. No. Seriously, Space Dog, I feel that all the time. Like, another show, not a cartoon, but a, Nick show from my childhood was like Wild and Crazy Kids, and my sister randomly actually got to be part of a live filming of it, not in the TV show, but just part of the filming, like in the audience and stuff. What the hell? Who's you, little shit? You little asshole! Leave me alone. Alright, let's run back here real quick before we read this. So that is called the Darling Underhill Disagreement. Again, this might be a little sequence breaky, but it's the fastest way for me to collect everything, and we don't know who this is. We'll meet the character later. Dear Dr. Darling, I feel I must inform you of the very questionable documentation I am seeing from Underhill's desk. She clearly has no concept of what the mold is. She claims there are microorganisms responsible for constructing the mold. Ridiculous. It's a rapidly growing fungus not dissimilar to kudzu. She's fabricating complexity just to justify her absurd budget demands. Speaking of which, I find it interesting that an old friend of yours gets her budget approved with no questions asked. I wonder if the Operation Oversight Committee would be interested to learn of that. Yours in estimation, Dr. Abraham Lewis. Again, Dr. freaking Lewis here. First, he tries to bribe Dr. Darling with some alcohol, some freaking scotch, basically, to get an increase in budget on his department, which is parakinesthesiology. And then he tries to blackmail Dr. Darling regarding the budget he's giving to Dr. Underhill in her research of the mold to try to get more budget for his department. This guy is a fucking piece of shit. Janitor Rex and the main character is one of the creatures called Evos that can stop the mutants with his nanites. Fun. Very, very fun. They did a crossover episode with Ben 10. Oh, that's cool. I like when shows do that kind of stuff. Okay. So we're gonna have to try... Unfortunately, I don't think we can do this yet, because I am not at full health. But there is a hidden location in here, but I need high HP, otherwise I'm going to die. Actually, let's see if I can pull this off. Wish me luck. If I die, I die. Shit! Get it, get it, got it. Okay, I got the ability point, that's all that matters. Done. Done, done. Okay, we got 1 extra ability point. We died, but it was worth it. Okay. Alright, with those 2 things out of the way, let's go ahead and head into the Luck and Probability Lab. We got a lot of troops here, a little bit demoralized just by looking at them. And yes, this place legitimately studies luck and probability. I mean, we have the Menekineko statue, which is intended to invite wealth and money into a business. So if the cat's paws are held out, we got a 4-leaf clover over here. A golden koi. Speaking of which, I'm actually rewatching Black Clover right now. Because I'm just seeing a 4-leaf, and that just reminded me of that. Anyways, moving on.
There you are. I was starting to worry.
Okay, we have the horseshoe, which is intended to retain luck as long as the horseshoe is pointed upwards, because it creates a little cup right there. But the second it tilts downwards, that means all the luck tends to flow out of it. Interesting stuff. Especially because of the explosion, Space Dog. Yeah, we're gonna come back here later, Draco, or Dakoba. Alright, Marshall. Sorry, I'm keeping you waiting.
Congratulations on your appointment, Director Phaeton. I'm Helen Marshall, head of Bureau Operations.
How are you doing?
Zachariah's dead then, and I assume you found his gun.
Just call me Jesse. Trench told me to find you. He said you could help.
And he told you this through the hotline. Makes sense.
None of this phases her? Really?
Here's the situation. Darling created the HRAs in a lab nearby. We need more if we're gonna survive this attack. My rangers can't secure the lab alone, not against those things. We need more firepower.
At least she seems to know what's going on here. She could know about Dylan.
I can clear out the hiss. I'll be your firepower.
That's a good answer.
Is she testing me?
Darling has systems in place to protect his labs. This should help you get past them. We'll talk more after you clear out the hiss. Rangers, let her through. We'll have to lock the door behind you. Sorry, but we can't risk a breach.
That's actually a good question, Draco Fox. I'm curious how many times the Bureau has gone through these huge, life-altering and almost world-ending situations in the past. And how many, like, I'm just curious about those stories, because this can't be the first time we had a world-ending conflict going on. To be 100% honest. This can't be the first time. Alright, we're gonna come back to this room in a second, but first things first, let's take care of the crisis. Because, you know, this is a video game, and we need to have gameplay every now and then. Now we can deal damage with that bad boy. Shit, missed him. Oh, and I just blew up something in my face. Let's go heal. That was probably not a good smart thing. The Ritual Division? I love this area. Don't kill my guy. I'm trying to mind control him, dude. Don't you dare. No, that's what you get for trying to shoot my guy. Alright, what do we got here? Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Is that it? Is that it, guys? Alright. No. Oh, we had to wait for that guy to die first. 2 in 1 go. Shit, I missed. No, stop flying towards my boys. You are trying to murder my own people. Okay, let's just keep throwing shit. Explodey boys, sit down. Alright. Chief Lewis. This is Abraham Lewis in the flesh. The guy who's trying to blackmail Darling, but also bribe him for more funding. We finally get to put him in his friggin' place. Yeah, put a shirt on. I don't, why did she say that? It makes no sense. Why would you? Whatever. Oh shit! Hi there, Lewis. I'm sorry. I was talking smack. Don't throw things in my face. There we go. Missed. Hi, buddy. Thank you. You killed somebody. Congratulations. Give him the pink slip. Oh my god, that's... that would have been a perfect line to say as you finished him off. Here's your pink slip, Lewis. Alright, let's go ahead and clear this area out real quick so our guys feel a little bit safer. I'm not gonna touch that one, Tao. The agent ranger calling him a big boy. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. Alright. So one little thing to keep in mind in the setting of this place is, even though we don't show them in the game due to some reason whatsoever, but these safe rooms right here are intended to be housing various Bureau agents that don't have HRAs. They're supposed to be hiding out in these safe rooms throughout the entirety of the game. And the entire purpose of the quest we're going on right now, which is to help Marshall secure a production of new HRAs, is to provide these people who are hiding in these shelters a means to protect themselves from this so we can get them out of these shelters and moving onwards. But unfortunately, we can't make them, so there's supposed to be like hundreds of people still trapped inside these shelters. Oh god. Alright, you guys ready? The Threshold Kid's Proposal. With the recent arrival of the child, there are certain glaring gaps in the Bureau's ability to educate and raise a young kid. There are no other children for Dylan to play with, and he is expected to learn about frightening new concepts. Dylan will require a slow, child-friendly introduction to paranatural topics. With this in mind, allow me to introduce The Threshold Kids, a television show in which a cast of cheerful puppets explains the dangers of living at the Bureau, but also shows the fun side of the paranatural. Budget would be minimal. I took a few puppet-making courses at my local community college. We can have research staff building the sets, record the footage, and even do the voices. It would be good for morale, and I guarantee Dylan will respond positively to these videos. We can't expect a kid to enjoy lectures and people in lab coats. But as television show has proven for years, kids love puppets. This is written by Dr. Bethany Harrington. Bethany Harrington, go fuck yourself. You created something flipping horrifying. Anyways. Exactly, Dakoba. Bethany Harrington is the reason why Dylan is fucked up. Alright. Hiss Warped. We have a few things to read. I heard that, Matt, that Remedy... Wait, are they actually remaking it, or are they just doing like a remastered definitive edition? Because I did see some advertisement for a definitive edition of Max Payne 1 and 2. But is it a legitimate remake, Matt? Just want to make sure. Because if that's the case, then hell yes! Hell yes! We need that. Because I've been looking for an excuse to start making Max Payne lectures for the channel, and that may be it right there. Moving onwards. The Hiss Warped wield only paranatural abilities, similar to drifters. What are drifters? Seriously, what are drifters? There's no Hiss type called drifters in this game, but they reference them here. Enemy type. What are they? Did they just tweet this, Art Master? Hold on, guys. We have to put a pause to the stream for a second, because I need to look this up. Because if they are legitimately, like, are they remaking, or remastering? Because those are two very, very different things. Hold on. Sorry, guys. BRB. I need to look at this. Okay, Remedy. Remedy Entertainment. There we go. We are pleased to announce that we will be remake the classic Max Payne 2 on a new development agreement with Rockstar Games. Oh! Okay, because here's the thing. Semantically speaking, a remaster, which is what they're doing with Chrono Cross, which we'll be playing in 2 games from now on stream, is taking the existing game and just giving it a fresh coat of paint, like updating the resolution, adding a few new features, and that's it. A remake is a full-on bottom-up, creating a brand new game using the exact same story, the exact same characters, the exact same gameplay, so to speak. Kind of like how the original Final Fantasy VII versus the Final Fantasy VII remake. That is a true remake versus a remaster, which is what they're doing with, like, for example, Alan Wake. The Alan Wake remaster was a remaster. It's the same game with a fresh coat of paint versus a brand new game using the same stuff. Fucking yes, yes! Oh my god. You know what this means? We're going to have to do the entire Max Payne trilogy. Despite my personal opinions on the third game, frankly, I haven't played the entire third game, but what I understand about it, whatever. That aside, we need to do the entire Max Payne trilogy, and that will allow me to start doing Max Payne actual videos. Max Payne on the Northlight engine? Fuck yes, Art. Oh my god. Oh, hold on. I gotta freaking... Shit. I gotta freaking retweet this real quick. Hold on. Shit, and I completely just misspelled that! Hold on, let's delete that before anyone sees it. Delete! Okay, hold on. Let's try to do this without making typos in the damn freaking... whatever. Okay, so let's be 100% honest. What the hell is Gel? I tried to say hell, and it spelled it with a G. Freaking phone. That's not even a real word. Stop being a jerk. Alright, seriously, we are being so spoiled by Remedy. Anyways, moving onwards. Okay, Hisswarped are wield-only paranatural abilities similar to drifters. They are able to telekinetically shield themselves with nearby material and launch objects at their target. These entities are particularly destructive and difficult to kill, possibly indicating a greater internal reinforcement of Hiss resonance. Why do certain Hiss display paranatural abilities while others rely on Bureau firearms? Do certain corrupted entities have less potential than the hosts that become Hiss-warped? Or is the... Sorry about that. Or is this perhaps the indication that the evolution of the maturation of the Hiss corrupted? Are there any stages of evolution yet to be found? What if the Hiss inhabits a host for a month, for a year? Do hosts expire after a certain amount of time? Does the corruption become too strong for the organic body to endure? Only time and well-documented observation will tell. Drifters are the older name of the floaty guys, I think. Okay. Get an air horn sound just for hype moments like this. Okay, Draco Fox, you got this, because I do have sound effects, like a soundboard I'm working on. Actually, I already got it kind of running at the moment, but I need to add a foghorn just for this situation, or celebration noise in general. My personal opinion on the Hiss warped right here, though, is we're kind of running off the hypothesis that the Hiss take what's in the individual's heads, and they make use of it. So anything that the individual is personally capable of. Now, if the host is a para-utilitarian, then therefore the Hiss that is formed from that individual will also have supernatural abilities, so to speak. And that's my personal opinion, though. Anyways, case files. We completely forgot to read this. The X-ray light box. We forgot to read this before we left the area. Alright, the object is a light box used to examine X-ray images. The image cannot be removed from the light box. The information on the image belongs to a patient named Nicolas Cage. Anyways, the object allows paratotalitarians to forcibly seize an individual's consciousness. The seized individual becomes bound to the user or enslaved to the user, one of those two. The effects last for a certain amount of time. Once released, the seized dies, whatever, as a result of the psychic trauma. And that's what we saw with those guys earlier. The second that we bound the X-ray light box to herself, all of the guys died right here. Because there was psychic trauma by having your mind forcibly taken over. A janitor named Redacted bound the object to St. Anne's Hospital in Redacted. Soon the building's occupants were something. He was making them do shit. Like, I'd be curious about learning more about this AWE. Basically, the janitor bound this to him and started enslaving the occupants of the hospital to making them do things. What they were doing, who fucking knows? Whatever. Okay, the Bureau dispatched an emergency response team to this location to apprehend the perpetrator and seize the item, or apprehend the item, or whatever. Bring it into custody. Who knows? Actually, the legend, I tried to do that. I dodged once while falling from the, after jumping off from the luck lab, and after I paused it and opened it up, I was mashing B to try to dodge again to avoid the death, but it still hit because the input didn't get in fast enough, unfortunately. The janitor was cleaning them. I don't want to think about those implications, Tacoba, I'll be honest. Okay, elevator. The only thing this game needs is elevator music. Let's be honest, we deserve good elevator music. I mean, I've heard rumors that they were going to be making a definitive edition of Max Payne, so I'm curious if it's a true remake or remaster, as I mentioned before. But, oh my god, that is awesome. Carla, file received. So if we remember back to the cafeteria at the bottom of research, Hubert Tan sent a notice over to Carla saying, like, hey, I filed all the Blackrock sample data into a file marked C for your name. Oh, and if you need some more information about this, we can go to dinner and we can get like steak or something. Like, I'll take you out to dinner if you want to learn more about this, of course, right? Basically trying to ask her out. Here's her response. Thank you for the file. It was very helpful. I re-archived it with the Blackrock research in case you need to refer to them again. Yes, the video shoots are always interesting. I expect my availability for those to decrease in the future. However, as my analysis of this newly discovered Blackrock variant is reaching a critical point, I hope you will be able to attend them still. Darling seems to be under a lot of pressure lately, and I'm sure he would appreciate any support you can provide. Regarding the analysis you provided, I do not have any questions. Thank you for your expeditious delivery. Regards, Research Specialist Dr. Carla Vaughn. Dr. Tan, Hubert, my man, just got rejected. Poor dude. Poor dude. I mean, think about it. Like, what would the dating scene be like in this environment? You can't really have a relationship with people outside the Bureau because... like, how would you associate with someone when you live in this environment and you are constantly dealing with this BS? And you understand the true nature of reality, how could you associate or have a legitimate conversation with anyone who is not privy to this information? That would flipping suck. By the way, what if the hiss evolve over time in certain hosts? Well, that's Emily's hypothesis right now, is that the hiss do eventually evolve as the time progresses. That's her hypothesis. Mine is that they make use of what's in the head and use them accordingly. Article says they remake 1 and 2 as one game for the PC in the current gen in Northlight. It's in Northlight, Bep? Oh, shit. Okay. Yes, we are going to be fucking playing this the second it's released. It is going to be hype as all hell. And I'm sorry if my expletives and my cursing is coming out like crazy. I cannot stop myself. That is... Oh, people. Seriously. This game, Control, by itself, is an absolutely amazing experience on its own. But the biggest thing that I adore about Control is the fact that it brought Remedy into the limelight. It put them into the wider consciousness of the gaming community. So now we are officially able to get an Alan Wake remaster, Max Payne remake being completed in the freaking Northlight engine, and they're getting so much bigger. So we're getting more and more Remedy content. It's just so freaking amazing to see them getting the recognition they deserve. I'm sorry, I'm gushing, I know, but it's. I have been wanting Remedy to get the notoriety and to get more under their belt for a long time, and I'm so happy to see that they're finally getting it, and in no small order due to this game we're playing it right now. Anyways, let's continue. Alright, here we go. Rituals. My other dog. That is not my profile dog. Oh, you have a... Oh, you're going to go walk the dog. No worries. I'll see you in a second, Space Dog, when you get back. Alright, rituals. Obsessive compulsive disorder, hoarding, anxieties... Okay, sorry. OCD, hoarding, anxiety disorders. That is a very badly structured sentence. Anyways... Well, they should have a semicolon or like a colon after that instead of a period. Sorry, grammar. While certain manifestations of these conditions are simply the result of mental illness, sometimes the individuals are simply performing something blah 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 actions, repetitive actions maybe, called rituals. The nature of the rituals can vary. Numerology, dream logic, forfeiture, verbal formulae, repetitive actions, and causal tethering are just some of the procedures involved. Some rituals are consistent, such as pulling the light switch cord 3 times to enter the motel, but some are erratic. While most people engage in minor rituals every day, the vast majority do not understand the importance behind their actions. Avoiding disaster, amassing luck, or simply locating lost keys are all results of daily rituals. Individuals who recognize a deeper meaning behind these compulsive actions are inherently aware of the supernatural world and, when located, should be considered employment at the Bureau. Oh, I know, Dakota. They recently, I think they actually opened up an office in Sweden. Remedy did. The Ritual Impulse. Oh, if you want to talk about, let's look at some of the materials. If you, nothingness, since you brought it up, you're talking about Ritual Impulses. So these are the altered materials that we mentioned before that it is alluded to that they are responsible, or at least a component in the creation of altered items and objects of power. Now, just by looking at these, we have conceptual materials. That's how they define these, conceptual materials. So if we have an undefined reading, no clue what that might be. A house memory. Now, a house memory may be an actual physical embodiment, like an actual residue of the memory of the oldest house itself in physical form. Weird. What that has to do with creating alter items? Who knows? A hidden trend. So this would be similar to, again, we're talking about rituals. A ritual is technically a trend of behavior. Hidden trend. Ritual impulse. This is the desire. An impulse, by definition, is a desire for a ritual or repetitive action. Threshold remnant. This is the biggest one where it makes it sound like there is another threshold of reality, that this is a latent piece of that other threshold, like a piece of another universe that got left here, so to speak. Intrusive patterns. This is going to be intrusive thoughts and things of that nature. An astral blip. If it's astral, we're talking about consciousness, maybe just a blip of consciousness. Who fucking knows? Oh, trust me, nothingness. I go by certain rituals myself, and usually it's just minor stuff. Like, one very common ritual that people use is if you're saying something and that's going well, and you want to say, hey, don't jinx it, right? You do the knock on wood. Knock on wood. For some reason, that is an inherent ritual we use in order to prevent or to keep what we're talking about to continue to be going well, rather than going badly. We say knock on wood. So that'd be one version of a ritual, so to speak. Down. Perfect. Synchronicity Lab. Let's head on over here and take a look. Boom. So, like, something we do, the same thing, like walking the dog or brushing your teeth in the same day. Yeah, technically speaking, brushing your teeth is a ritual, Draco Fox. That's why they call it our daily rituals. Making your bed at the, every morning, which, let's be honest, most of us don't do. But, brushing your teeth or just doing something. Like, one thing I do when I'm at work is I will randomly knock on the walls as I walk past it. No reason for it, it just freaking happens. It's kind of odd. Unfortunately, we cannot do too much in this lab just yet, Takoba, but we can grab a couple of collectibles while we're here. Synchronicity experiments, and I will do my best to unlock this little Easter egg when we get to this point in the game. Alright, synchronicity. So this is going to go along with the groupthink document that we saw earlier, but let's take a look at this one. As a test, television sets were placed in a variety of locations around the world inside of rooms identically decorated. The hypothesis was that by identically altering the decor of every room and then changing the channel in every room by one, that the single differing television would spontaneously align in the incoming frequency to match the synchronized counterparts. Essentially, you have 100 rooms all around the country, or all around the planet, that were decorated the same. If 99 of them you change the channel to 52, and then what they expected was the one that did not change the channel would automatically change to 52 to match the rest. The experiment seemed to be a failure, until it was observed that the agents responsible for arranging and monitoring these rooms were all experiencing the same emotional turmoil as one clinically depressed member of the team, himself being located in the eastern part of redacted location. Psychological examination of the agents proved the correlation. Interestingly, the phenomenon of synchronicity did occur, but not in the way we predicted. Stay away from the mannequins. No worries. I'll give you fair warning, Draco Fox, when we have to deal with mannequins so that you don't have to look at them. Because yeah, there is a point in the game where we are going to have to deal with mannequins. But I'll tell you when to close the window, your web browser, and then we'll come back to it. Boop, 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 boop. Let's go. Flipping a penny to be face up instead of face down. Yes, just little stuff like that. Like, we all have little compulsions that, according to this game, are just part of ritualistic actions. Actually, hold on. I don't think we're going here. You can handle them in game, just not IRL. I'm actually curious what the phobia of mannequins stems from. Because it's a legitimate thing, I just never did research onto the root of why that is. The rubber duck. Don't you dare quack at me, duck. Alright.
Altered item number 52AE analysis, session 2. I will begin by introducing various stimuli to the item. First, a low voltage electric shock. No response. Next, I will introduce heat via a standard Bunsen burner. No response. Next, a series of solutions will be applied, each with a different value on the pH scale, from 0 to 14.
It sounds like they're just doing random shit and seeing what works.
No response to any value. Next, I will attempt to communicate. Can you understand me? Can you understand my words? Quack if you can understand my words.
Quack.
No response. This concludes session 2. We'll need time to prepare further tests.
Wait, does Jesse actually respond to these?
Analysis, session 2.
Like,
I will begin by introducing various stimuli to the item. First,
I honestly didn't know that, because I usually just listen to them in menu because you get all the ambient sounds out of the picture, so it's easier to understand. But if she legitimately responds to some of these, then I'm gonna have to go back and check it out at some point. I don't know, why do you start with acidic water and then work your way to the base water?
Next, a series
That depends, Legend, whether this place can make you go crazy. It depends how crazy you are to begin with after being hired here, or before being hired here, I should say.
This way to the lab? Okay. You must like these HRAs. Sounds like Darling built them. And most of the things around here. If Marshall can't help us with Dylan, he's our next best bet. Assuming he's not dead. Or taken over by the hiss.
Okay, then that's something that I've been missing a lot of, because I've never listened to these in-game. I kind of just listen to them in the pause menu and then run off. So there's a lot of dialogue I'm missing if that's the case. Or maybe I did it my first playthrough and I really don't remember what she said, so... Oh, don't worry, Nothingness. When it comes to Dynamite, I will be doing it properly. Here we are. HRA Production Lab.
You led me here. Any idea how to make it work?
You haven't played the game yet? You just watched a lot of Let's Plays, I assume, Nothingness. She was overthinking it. Just add a kind of kid bubble bath in that yellow duck and sure we'll get results. Thank you, Legend. Like, honestly, when it comes to altered items, I'm with a certain fan of a certain poet that is canonically in this game when it comes to how to deal with altered items and objects of power. You have to have magical thinking. You have to have dream logic when it comes to dealing with these things. They're attaching specifically to archetypal objects for a reason. And trying to interpret it through the lens of science may or may not be the best way to deal with this. Like, it is very useful, don't get me wrong. And if it works, then cool, you have a scientific basis. But to start off with, magical thinking is probably the best thing, guy. I'm not going to say anything past that, Nothingness, because we haven't found that report yet that you just mentioned. But when we get there, we will talk about this in full. 100%. Alright, Black Rock Prisms. Boom. Delete. Alright, Black Rock Prisms are unique formations of the Black Rock, distinct in both their shapes and potency. While the density of Black Rock dampens paranatural forces, the unique molecular structure of the prisms retains frequencies in the range of something to something hertz, with perfect something harmonization. So basically, the molecular structure will hold if you sing a certain note or you expose a certain frequency of sound to this rock, it retains and resonates with that frequency. That's the logic behind, or the science behind tuning forks, for example. Now, before we had digital tuning forks, when someone who worked on grand pianos, for example, had to go tune them, they would hold little metal forks, and when you played a note, it would resonate with that fork. So you'd hear the fork actually start to vibrate in accordance with the note, the string on the piano that you're playing. And that's how they tune them. So what they're saying is these Black Rock, like the tuning fork, will resonate at that frequency because it's the same natural frequency. Sorry to take a quick sidestep, but a natural frequency is everything in the universe, every object, the freaking coffee cup that I'm drinking out of right now has a natural frequency. And when that sound in the specific hertz range plays at the natural frequency of this cup, and you increase the amplitude, it will shatter. That's why you see the images of like opera singers who will sing a note and cause a glass to shatter, because they're singing at the same natural frequency of the glass itself at a high enough amplitude, which means volume, to make it break. So Black Rock has a natural frequency specific between these two ranges of hertz. Anyways, sorry. Moving forward. This report analyzes the results of focusing a sound through the harmonized prism to a whatever. Methods for the imprinting of non-physical fields onto something, imbuing them with properties of the harmonized resonance. Something in the prism will be explored and explained. So basically they're trying to find a way to utilize the Black Rock when it's vibrating and resonating with the natural frequency of the thing. It's just odd, whatever. Hey there, Gary. How you doing? You played this with your RTX card and made it believer in ray tracing. Dude, this game is basically intended to showcase RTX technology to its fullest. Unfortunately, I don't have ray tracing turned on right now, only because I'm forced to play with DirectX 11, and DirectX 11 does not allow for ray tracing, unfortunately. My computer can technically handle the DirectX 12. The problem is sometimes it'll have graphical issues, and I really don't want to mess with it if we're streaming. But anyways, let's go.
Hello again, Director. It appears we have a new problem. We need to get the HRA machine working.
I've replaced a couple of spark plugs, but this looks a bit more complicated.
Darling must have had a system. Randomness isn't in his nature. The punch cards, the symbols, the terminals. How do they connect?
I'll see what I can do.
Alright, puzzle time! Yay! Let's do some puzzles! Woo! Is this like the only actual like puzzle we have in the game? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. Anyway, so this right here is the first location we find, like this, that right next to the cigarette and ashtray, you'll find the Dr. Takui tape for that side quest that we showed earlier on. And another random quinky dink, which I find interesting, is right over here we have a brand of cigarette called the Black Pyramid, since 1920. Now, we know that 1964 is when the Bureau set itself up in the oldest house, which means a full 44 years before the oldest house was discovered, the cigarette brand of the Black Pyramid existed. What that means? Who fucking knows? Black Pyramid cigarettes. Mirror puzzle. Yeah. There's some in the sync lab. Wait. You played it the first time last year, quickly fell in love with it, and I got the RTX card, and it's like, yep, it's playing it again. Also, I wanted to do the PS4 only quest I modded back in. Actually, Gary, I don't know how long you've been in the stream, but if you just got in, we actually looked at those PS4 exclusive side quests in the stream. I'm playing on PC, so it's not natively in here, but I recorded it off my PS4 and we played the video file. Anyways, okay. So 1 and 4. Which one's this? This is number 4, so that's going to be that one. Okay. Wait, hold on. I think it's that one. Yeah. Alright, so number 1 is also going to be the one that looks like a hazmat symbol. Let's take care of this and then I'll get caught up in chat again. So that's going to be hazmat symbol right there. Okay. So for this one... So number 5 is going to be the one that has like the left half taken over. Boom. And then over here we have the square on 2 and the bottom left corner as number 3.
Each punch card should correspond to a terminal.
I know, Marshall. I got this. You don't have to tell me. Which one? Oh, number 3. That's the one I haven't done yet. Done. Thank you, Legend. Yeah, there's cigarette boxes everywhere when you're not allowed to smoke, but we know that, well, we don't know yet, because the character hasn't appeared, but this is not a game spoiler. But the only person who's allowed to smoke inside the Bureau is Trench. And I can seriously doubt that Trench has cigarettes stashed all over the oldest house just in case he needs a fix. Whatever. Yeah, sure, Jerkafox. Show me, post in Discord that little resonator monster. For sure. I'll take a look at it.
The prism shattered. Darling's prototypes have a lot of issues. We need a new plan. We need more Blackrock prisms to make this machine work. Darling has another lab, down in the Blackrock processing site in maintenance. That must be where he keeps the prisms.
I've been to maintenance already. I can find my way.
But how long will that take? Nothing here is simple. I need to ask her now, before I go.
I need something from you first. What do you know about Dylan Faden?
I knew this was coming. Lives are at stake here, and we need this machine working to save those lives. Once that is done, Director Faden, then we can talk.
She's right. As much as I don't want to admit it, I'm the only one who can help.
Fine. I'll get the prisms first.
Dylan will have to wait just a little longer.
But don't call me Director. Jesse is fine.
I'll call you Faden. Here, you'll need this keycard.
Thanks. Emily Pope has set up a base in Executive. Once I have the prism, I'll meet you there.
Right. I'll move out immediately. And keep an eye out for Darling. Finding him might be the key to stopping the hiss.
It's just one large-scale HRA. It's there now. We are about to be exposed to a different kind of resonance. Hostile, viral, invasive resonance. That's what the Hedron resonance amplifiers are for. Taking the protection Hedron can provide us, and keeping us from being wiped out.
I love this location right here. This place is absolutely flipping amazing.
Here, this will lead back to Central Research.
Cool. Thank you, Marshall. Like, that location that we just saw in that cutscene is flipping phenomenal. Like, I want to explore that place a lot more, just saying. Seriously, Legend, this place is crazier than Hogwarts in so many ways. It's basically if Hogwarts dropped acid and then fucking... That's basically the oldest house. Anyways, so if anyone is curious, I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. So, Dr. Darling just spoke about resonance right there. I do have a video all about the hiss and the Polaris resonance and what it's supposed to represent. So if you're curious, check the top right here, and we will go ahead and give you a full-length lecture on the status of that if you're interested. If not, then we will continue onwards with the game. Now, I know there is some more stuff we can do in research right now, but first, we are going to go take care of more of the story before we head back down there, because we want to have one more object of power before we take care of that. Oh, yeah, I'm talking... Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Tao. Yeah, so I was going to mention, yeah, that scene from Dr. Darling's presentations we saw in the sequence break room that I went to was just shown right then during that cutscene, so it wasn't really too much of a... It's not really a spoiler because you don't know what's going on, but the game literally just mentioned it a few minutes later. Alright. First things first, though.
Ridiculous. Pope's grasping at straws.
Why?
Let's go ahead and upgrade our stuff. So we got you. Before we do anything else, I actually have to be right back. I need a quick bio break. I will be here in 2 seconds. Oh boy. All right, we are back. To answer your question, nothingness. If you're curious about my, as Jacob already mentioned, if you're curious about my 2D platformer skills, go check out my Hollow Knight stream. It's not on this channel. It's actually back on the primary Gaming University channel. Unfortunately, I was not able to pull any of my streams off of the original channel and bring them here. I attempted to, and YouTube wasn't happy with me doing that, so I left everything back over there.
Physical alterations in his corrupted organisms vary so.
But if you're curious about it, you can check out the Hollow Knight stream. I actually love 2D platformers. I love collectathons. I like 3D platformers. Those are, if I'm not playing a game for story purposes, those platformers are my default, is what I go to. Okay. Let's go check a few things because we now have access to a few random objects. So let's check out our Dr. Darling video on resonance.
Resonance is the key. Vibration, frequencies, waveforms, fields we didn't know were there. It's physics. These fields in complex interaction, altering reality that comes to contact with them. Hedron is communicating with me. He's trying to warn me of something imminent. I've been using every known method to analyze the data. Exposing myself to it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing things and overcome by compulsion. It's not just data, it's protection.
By compulsion, that's rituals right there. Compulsion is unconscious rituals.
We are about to be exposed to a different kind of resonance. Hostile, viral, invasive resonance. That's what the Hedron resonance amplifiers are for. Taking the protection Hedron can provide us and keeping us from being wiped out.
I don't know why my mouse cursor is on that screen right there. I actually have played Celeste already, Bep, and yeah, I can agree. That is, despite how rage-inducing it can be at times, that is definitely a game to help get your mind off things. In terms of Metroid Dread, I'll probably play it off stream at some point, to be frank, because I love Metroid games, don't get me wrong. It's just, it's not a story-heavy game, so I don't know if it would really fit in on the channel for doing a stream of it, but I definitely play it and 100% it because I am a completionist when it comes to collectathons or any kind of platformer. Just me and games in general, I have to get everything done. It's a compulsion for me. Alright. The board wants to talk to us again now that we have gotten through that area. Objects of power are holders / 665 to the other / blessing. We hold the reins, law. We are failing in translating hyperreal concepts. Secrets and instructions will be lost. Ignore this message. Alright. So that is probably one of the most relevant board hotlines that we ever receive. It refers to holders of the objects of power, like Jesse is right now, as being 665. Now, 665 is a number that's been referenced all throughout the Remedyverse. It's first made its appearance, I believe, in Max Payne 1 as a password, and then 667 appeared in Max Payne 2. But also in Quantum Break, the number 665 made an appearance, and it is always referred to as the neighbor of the beast. So if they're talking about anyone who holds an object of power as being equivalent to the neighbor of the beast, well, we also have 665 right the fuck up there as being the exact same thing. But not only that, They are neighbors of the beast to the other slash... Oh, well, hold on. Let me go back to it. It's other slash something. They're holders slash 665 to the other slash blessing. Now, if you want to know more about that, I have a video all about the quote and quote other. If you want to see more about that, check up in the right corner right now, and we'll link out to that video. And you will see my full thoughts on that, but I do say you will need to have complete knowledge of this game before you go into that. What's weird in this room, Dakoba? Is there something weird in that entry room by the director's office? Go to the bathroom and look at the sign outside. Okay. Wait, where's the bathroom? I don't know where a bathroom is in this area. That's another good point, nothingness. So let's move over here while Dakoba's responding. Is if we look at the directorship. Actually, no, it's not. We don't actually have a hotline for it, but when we entered the ritual for the service weapon, the board specified that they are broadcasting from the pyramid slash other. So now they're saying that they're the other slash blessing, so that's the second time they've used that specific phrase. There we go, G. I just put all the resonators in the rec room Discord. Oh, sure, I'll check the rec room once we get done here. I don't know where the bathroom is here, to be 100% honest, Dakoba. And one thing I just noticed, too, is this is where the elevator was at when we first started the game, and now the elevator's gone. Weirdly enough. Yeah, I just noticed that, too, Space. Like, frankly, I've never noticed that. I'm sorry, Dakoba. I literally have no idea where the bathroom is here. When you enter the big room... Oh, you're talking about these right here. Or is it the men's restroom? Okay, let's go check that out. Maybe it's this one right here. Are you sure it's here? Oh, it's the signs on the outside, sorry. I mean, we see that. What signs are you are we looking at, Dakoba? Maybe I'm missing something. Look at them and then punch the walls? Wait, why? Okay, hold on. Hold on. So why does it show that this is the women's restroom and then they have a symbol of the men's restroom right next to it? That's just weird. Why would you do that? It's like the paneling was put up to cover this when they remodeled, and then they just decided to switch which restroom was whose. And let's be perfectly honest, these restrooms are built exactly the same, so there's really no need to have them separated by gender. I mean, like, usually in the men's restroom, you'll have urinals on the wall, and that's what distinguishes them, but these are the exact same floor plan, so they should be unisex. That's just... I've never noticed. That's really cool to go, but thanks for pointing that out. 666 is the gematria number for the English translation of Nero Caesar.
Handle that altered item, making everyone drown themselves in the toilets.
Trench contained that thing.
Wait, hold on! Hold on, I've never heard that dialogue before. Altered item that made people drown themselves in the toilets. Okay, so we know that there is another altered item that we've never seen before that has that effect. It made people drown themselves in the toilets.
Did you see me take down one of those flying motherfuckers?
Dude, you're talking really loud, lady. I've taken down a 50 flying motherfuckers, so don't you dare brag to me. Okay, I have never heard that line of dialogue before. Okay, so let's theorycraft. What type of imagery in the collective unconscious would cause someone to drown themselves in toilets? Maybe something to do with bullying? Because we do have that entire, like, the aspect of bullying where they give them someone's swirly whirly, they shove their head in the toilets and flush it, so to speak. So that does have a connection to bullying, but I don't know what else that is. Yes, Space Dog, I wrote that down. What's up, Nothingness? Is that why the bathroom executive went missing? No, that was just a random building shift, unfortunately. Okay, sorry, I'm getting back to your comment, Bep. So interesting trivia. 666 is the gematria number for the English translation of Nero Caesar, a stand-in for the Romans. The real number of the original language is 616. Interesting. I'm currently working on a book by Robert Wang called Kabbalistic Tarot, Bep. And so there's not a lot of gematria in that, but there's a little bit of that philosophy sprinkled around in there that I'm working on. Have you seen the movie Pi, by the way, Bep? Just out of curiosity, since you mentioned gematria.
I should get back to my work.
Honestly, that would be horrible if an altered item that looked like a toilet paper roll was causing people to drown themselves into a toilet.
This is Lynn Salvador, head of Bureau Security. I'm making a formal security order due to the incident in April, case number 21HQ593. Improper use of the jukebox altered item led to 2 fatalities. We believe a pair of agents used the jukebox to travel to the quarry threshold and engage in inappropriate workplace behavior. An expedition team found them decomposing at the formation's base a week later. At least we found out the jukebox doesn't bring corpses back when the song ends. I'm having the jukebox placed in a secure location in the executive sector. It should never have been accessible to low clearance staff in the first place. The new location's security and proximity to a high traffic area will prevent misuse, while still allowing for expedition teams to access it when required. See me for any further details.
Thank you, thank you. So we're talking about that jukebox already. Now, yeah, we'll talk about the jukebox when we get to that stage. Now, technically speaking, I can go into this room right now and get a collectible. However, when I was doing my run through this game to get prepared for the stream and doing my collectible pathways, I forgot about this one, so it's going to be much later in the stream or in the gameplay. So we'll just leave that now so I don't mess with myself. And I'll forget to come back and do it. Actually, I think a toilet plunger would be a better version of it. Would be better for an altered item when it comes to drowning yourselves in the toilet. That'd make more sense. Like me personally, I used a... This might sound like a little weird, but I've actually used not the full toilet plunger itself. What we would do in band is we would buy a toilet plunger and then remove the rubber part of it off the top and use that as a mute for the trumpet. And you'd give yourself some pretty cool sounds if you use it as a plunger mute. It would change the timbre quite a bit, and you can mess around with it. Here we go. So this was not here before. Alright. Pope's promotion. Based upon an outstanding performance. Agreed. She is amazing. Dr. Darling has personally recommended Ms. Pope for a promotion based upon her work ethic, assistance in advancing many ongoing research matters. See research reports redacted for breakthroughs resulting from her work. According to her colleagues, Pope has displayed a keen eye for detail and a quick grasp of paranormal concepts. She is professional, diligent, though some of her coworkers complained about social disinterest. The review committee approves this recommendation and promotes Ms. Pope to the position of research specialist. So really the two things to take out of this is, one, Pope is awesome. We all knew that already. But the fact that she's a little asocial, she doesn't really have any interest in socializing with the other members or the other agents within the oldest house. And I specifically reference that as asocial and not antisocial because they are two very different things. Asocial are just people that prefer not to socialize. Antisocial means you have a reckless disregard for society's rules. So those are people who are like, you know what, I'm going to break the law because I just don't give a shit about what the law says. That's antisocial. Asocial is like, I just don't really want to socialize with you. I prefer my alone time.
Up, damn it. Oh, another year, department chief was mine.
Actually, there's one more we need to get before we go talk to Pope. One more document we need to go grab. You wouldn't put Pope alone in charge by herself. Yeah, especially with the scientists and scientists in the oldest house. They all tend to have a little mad scientist aspect to them. So we need someone to supervise them. 100%. Anyways, the best room in the house. Sticky notes everywhere! What's going on in here? Ooh, we gotta upgrade to the launch. Give me you, yes. Alright, what else do we got? Ammo cost, damage against armor, I don't care about that. Damage and health is low, don't care about that. Let's switch back to the grip, personally. Or not the grip, shatter. Damage. Honestly, damage against shields might be helpful with this one because I'll use it against the big boys. Okay, so true story. We need to pause the game for a second. True story. You talk about this being the ultimate prank towel. So when I was in high school, my AP chemistry teacher had a weird, odd obsession with sticky notes. I don't know why. True story. So on our senior year, she had to go, or my junior, I lied. My junior year, she had to go down to the football field because they were getting something set up for the seniors who were getting ready to graduate. So she left us alone in the classroom. We knew this was going to happen, so all of us bought probably a couple $100 worth of sticky notes. And while she was gone, we literally did this to her classroom. We stickied every lab table, we stickied all the walls, all the floors, we brought in a step stool, did all the freaking ceilings, so that when she came home, or she came back to the classroom from the football stadium, she came to literally this. Just to screw with her. Because we knew she loved sticky notes. I don't know what her issue was, but it was fun. Anyways, moving on. Alright, sticky note complaint. To whom it may concern, in case you are not aware, something caused a sticky note in my office to duplicate. My office is unusable now. I will be working from home until this is resolved. You can reach me on my cell or home phone. Sincerely, Dr. Bozer, Vice Chief of Staff. Okay, personally, I would be perfectly fine. Like, okay, SG, let's be honest, I have no clue what caused this entire situation with the sticky notes. Now, the closest thing we see about the sticky notes is something we'll find a little bit later on once we get to the containment sector. But I have no clue what caused this. I'm writing a note right now. What caused the sticky notes? Dude, Isaac, if they made a mockumentary spin-off, like a sitcom freaking TV show of Control, like a day-to-day life, that would be fucking amazing. Like, imagine like a version of The Office, but it was the oldest house as The Office. Oh my god, that'd be great. Honestly, I wouldn't mind working in this office right here, though, because you have infinite supply of sticky notes. You can just use them as part of your work, and you'd be fine. Maybe it didn't duplicate over and over again. Maybe it's just an elaborate prank by some coworkers. Oh my god. Also, I'd watch that too, Legend. That would be an amazing way that the Remedy could make some live-action TV shows set in the Remedy-verse for a wider audience that are not gamers, and just bring people in by making a comedy mockumentary of the oldest house. That'd be flipping amazing. Alright, linguistic ability. Dude, Jim Halpler would love the Bureau. Oh my god. Alright, linguistic ability. Researchers were sent to transcribe the recursive chant repeated by the Hiss entities. In the interest of safety, this was done with the non-aggressive floating Hiss entities. However, no distinction between this repeating phrase and the ones repeated by more violent Hiss entities have been observed. What is the purpose of this repeating string of words? Is this how the Hiss corrupts individuals? Does the chant produce a physical effect? Is it a message? An incantation? We were able to record a first-hand recitation of the chanting. See the corresponding audio record. So at some point, I do plan on doing a full breakdown of the Hiss chant because it's more than just a recitation and some random phrases. And I'm not even including the information we get in the AWE DLC about the origin of the Hiss chant. I'm talking about what it actually says and how relevant it is to what's going on in the story. But we'll talk about that later. And hold on. So this coffee cup right here is literally on my desk, and that's what I'm drinking from, except it's not black, it's white. But whatever.
Hi, Jesse.
Okay, so we have some new stuff from her.
I keep finding traces of Darling, but still can't find him. Where could he be?
But he's usually in his office in research, or one of his labs. Dr. Darling has quite a few, all around the Bureau. Could be hiding in any one of them. I check myself, but I don't have access to most of them.
Sounds like I touched a nerve.
He didn't let you into his labs?
Not all of them, no. Some had volatile material. That's ridiculous. I mean, this whole place is volatile material. Could have at least thought up a more convincing lie. I mean, how can I work without access to all the data possible?
I understand that mindset 100% entirely. Now, I don't know if we came across this document as of yet, but there is a reason why Dr. Darling chose to exclude her from some of the research that was being done up in the research sector. There is a legitimate reason why he chose to not inform her, and it's honestly a pretty decent reason, but we'll talk about it when we find that document. I mean, why would they have their own merch? Let's be honest. The only bad side is you can't have the people visiting New York from out of state coming here and stopping by the oldest house to check out their gift shop, but whatever.
This place has a bad habit of moving around, huh?
So you notice the building shifts. Did you know that 39% of Bureau accidents are caused by the shifts? It's true. I ran the numbers myself.
So they're dangerous.
Oh, very. Yet one time, a shark got shifted into a meeting room along with over 2,000 gallons of water. It was a tiger shark. Darling's pet research project. I forget what he was researching.
How do people work here?
Okay, before we continue on to this, there actually is a document right at the beginning of the flipping game that has to do with that. Right here. So this is the security order we found before we even met Ati at the beginning of the game, saying a shark in his blank, although secured. So after the shark basically shifted and teleported into the random office building, they were giving orders to shoot to kill. Frickin' I want to know what's going on here. This is just freaking random. Hold on. Oh gosh. So one of my coworkers just texted me. One of our customers is... Let's just say one of my customers right now is a total wino, and he'll call us in the middle of the night, drunk off his ass, just to talk. It's kind of getting weird at this point. Anyways, moving on. Darling is more like Krieger. Who's Krieger? Sorry, I might be missing that reference. All right.
Bring me back anything good?
Like, honestly, the only thing I can think of why Darling was studying sharks specifically is maybe photoreception. Basically, it's a sense that sharks and certain species in the Cagthiform, I forgot the genus, the actual genus of shark that encompasses sharks, rays, and skates. But it's a sense they have where they can tell physical location of animals in their territory based upon the electrical signals and impulses they give off. I think it's called photoreception. Sure, let me see something. Sharks, rays, and skates. Chondrichthyes. There we go. And the only reason I have that word chondrichthyes in my head for sharks, rays, and skates is because once upon a time I was working on a taxonomy database with an old coworker of mine. Let's just say it was a business venture that never actually went anywhere. Anyways, but I literally had to categorize every single subspecies within the Chondrichthyes family by name and by Latin designation. It took me a couple months. It was freaking ridiculous, but that was specifically the one that I worked on. Everybody had their own individual genus, but whatever. Or family, I should say. Moving onwards.
You said you're an assistant?
Oh, it's just a title. I'm a scientist, a researcher. I work for Dr. Darling. See, when Bureau agents go out in the field, the sites of altered world events, we study the materials, the altered items they bring back. It's always something we've never seen before, and studying them requires new instruments, methodologies, sometimes entirely new fields of science.
Emily really loves her job.
See, there's no guidebook for what we do here. Everything that happens at the Bureau, including the science, is without precedent.
So it seems like altered materials are specifically brought back after AWEs occur, and then those altered materials also help to dictate the creation of altered items and objects of power. That being said, which is first, the chicken or the egg situation? Is it the AWE that creates the altered item, or is it the altered item that creates the AWE, or both, and it's just more of a complex relationship? Never really specified.
What exactly is the Ocean View Motel?
That's a bigger question than you might think. You see, I have extreme doubts that the motel is a single place. I mean, look at all the doors inside it. Where do they all go? We know that one door leads to the oldest house, but how come we can only ever open that one door? Maybe to open a door, you have to have entered through it. So if every door leads to a different dimension, plane, reality, whatever you want to call it, then I believe that the motel is firm proof that parallel universes exist.
Does Darling agree with that?
I haven't told him yet. I'm waiting until I can prove it.
Like, I'm technically with you, Dakoba, on that. Technically speaking, the egg did exist before the chicken, and the only reason we say that is because, let's go back in time tens of millions of years. Anytime a new species pops up in the taxonomy, or the in the world, let's just say on Earth, it has to have been a genetic mutation or a genetic anomaly of the previous species that came before it. If we follow the logic. Which means, technically speaking, the egg existed from a previous species that was not a chicken, but what hatched from the egg was a chicken. So it really just comes down to how you want to interpret that. I'm sorry, is my drinking too loud? I really don't mean it to be. I apologize. I'm not trying to drink super loudly right next to the microphone.
What can you tell me about control points?
They're nexus points of the oldest house's unique energies. Now, I wrote a 30-page proposal hypothesizing that we could siphon energy directly from them. Darling didn't even get through the first page before he turned it down.
Right. And, has anyone ever used them to teleport around?
What? No. What, I mean, you mean physically? No, not that I've ever heard of. Why?
Because that's how they work for me.
What? Really? Oh my god. More tests.
Excitement!
Let's hold off on the tests until later, okay?
Okay. It's just, wow. This blows my control point theories right out of the water. I love it.
Honestly, the thing is, I don't really listen to the VODs after I upload them unless I'm trying to add stuff in, like the cards and stuff of that nature. But I'll see what it sounds like, because I really don't... I apologize if anyone's been annoyed with me listening to me drink water or tea or whatever I have in front of me at the time. Okay, let's go ahead and make that deletion right there. Okay, boom, boom, delete you. So the very next thing, technically, is the Black Processing Lab. She totally teleports. Now, I'm kind of with Darling on this situation about telling her, no, you are not going to be siphoning power off of the control points, because, let's be honest, the control points are there specifically to make sure this house does not shift unintended in a way that causes us all to die in here or get lost forever. Now, tapping into the energy source of the control points, let's be frank, we don't know what unintended consequence that might have. So what happens if Darling says, yeah, sure, Emily, go ahead and mess with those control points, and then they stop working, and all of a sudden the walls close in and we all die and get stuck in the walls, and yeah. Not that that's going to happen, but you don't know if that's going to happen or not, so let's not test it. Just saying. Yeah, I'm kind of with Darling on this situation. But I agree, Jacob Fox. Emily's a nerd. We love her for it. She is my wife. Oh, by the way, I just found this out today. I was today's years old when I figured this out. So apparently, because we know Quantum Break came out in 2016.
Marshall knows something about Dylan. Is he here? Is he all right? HRAs first. They'll help save everyone, including Dylan, once I find him.
Yep, HRAs are very
Keep him
important.
safe. Like you do with me.
Thank you, Polaris. Perfect. All right, so I learned today. So Quantum Break came out in 2016. Apparently, in 2016, Courtney, right here, Courtney Hope, the actress for Jessie and the actress for Beth Wilder, actually starred in a film that was released the same year as Quantum Break that also had to do with quantum mechanics at the same time. So she did two separate projects that had to do with quantum physics in the same year of 2016. I did not know that. I literally just found that out today. Exactly. They are a nerve system, Draco Fox, so you might hit the funny bone and mess stuff up accidentally. Would be bad to stop working or even teleport parts of the body or somewhere else exactly. Yeah, I doubt the house is happy that it's being stabilized in certain areas. I mean, it's like someone's putting a acupuncture needle right into your freaking funny bone. I don't think they'd be very happy. Yes, Bep, but we're not going to talk about that just yet until we get to the foundation or into one of the DLCs. We'll talk more about what you just mentioned at that time. She did them at the same... Exactly, Tacoba. I did not know that. Like, the only reason I learned that is because she mentioned the project on her Instagram today. Alright, let's go get that guy real quick. Oh gosh, dude, get away from me. Get away. Stop. Get out of my face, bro. Sorry, I just killed my friends. Not my bad. Hey, you, guess what? Boom! You're now gonna be my... You shall be my minion. I shall call you Jerry. Yeah, that's why I mentioned to Space Dog about the funny bone. From my understanding, like, I could be wrong here, but I think the funny bone is technically a huge junction of nerves, so whenever you touch it, it kind of, like, radiates everywhere. Dude, seriously, Gary, that is awesome. Same thing, when I found out that those little energy balls, you can seize them and get, like, reoccurring HP gain. Flipping amazing. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue onwards. I wasn't sure if there's any collectibles in there. Oh, gosh! Bro, what the... okay. That guy was just like, hi there, punched in the face. And you can't seize big enemies yet. Okay, we will eventually, though. Whoop. Alright, let's head on through this area. Okay, let's be honest. What is this here for? What does this do? Are these like power turbines or something? Like, the utility of this room makes no sense. It's like, if anyone's seen the film Galaxy Quest, there's that one section near the end, the climax of the story, where they are going through the chompers, and the characters are like, why the hell is this here? This makes no sense. Why a starship should have this specifically engineered inside of it makes no sense from an engineering standpoint. And the game and the movie's response is, well, it was here in the TV show, therefore it's here. Doesn't have to make sense. Oh my gosh, okay. And I agree, Galaxy Quest is flipping amazing. I kind of wish that they had the entire, like, they actually made a TV show off of that, because that was such a fun show. You're going to reference that too, Beb? Yep. Okay, we found another instance of the Ocean View Motel, so let's continue. Rule of 3 applies. Boop. And I did I did mention this during the first stream, but since Emily just talked about it, we can discuss it again. So she said, hold on.
Hello? I don't know. The lights are on. They should be open. We're looking to get a room for the night. Hello? I don't think anyone's there, honey. Come on. We'll go to that motel we passed a while back.
Where is the ocean view? Okay. Yes, I do have a notepad and I'm taking notes. Alright, so that tiny little detail there tells us that the Ocean View Motel is a physical location that can be found somewhere in the country based upon the accent of the individual that just walked by. So this is a physical location, but no one from the outside can actually enter it. They'll see it, but the door's locked, they can't get inside. But when you're on the inside, you exist in this semi-dream state. Yeah, this is a physical location. We just don't know where the fuck it actually is. Thank you for mentioning the Lost Room. I need to finish that TV show. It's only 6 episodes. I've watched the first 2 episodes of Lost Room, but I never got past that. Anyways, going back to what Emily was saying about how we can only enter through this one door because the Black Pyramid is the one we came in through. Well, we do know what these doors lead to. And this is detailed in the game files itself. This one is called Doors. This one is called Vanguard. This is obviously the White Pyramid. The Black Pyramid, obviously. This one is labeled as Control 2. So, whatever the sequel of this game is going to be, has to do with this door and this symbol. And this one is labeled Alan Wake. I need to rewatch the first 2 episodes, Nothing, just to be honest, because I just don't remember the character whatsoever. Like, the main character or the protagonist. They merged all the episodes. So it's like a 6-hour thing on YouTube, Artmaster. I'll have to check it out sometime. Alright. And it's interesting you bring that up because you can tell that the Ocean View Motel is very much a reference to the Lost Room. And a lot of the concepts, specifically objects of power and altered items in this game, are a reference to the Lost Room as well. Now, I'd never seen it before this game was released. I was familiar with Warehouse 13, which, again, has the very same concept of altered objects and artifacts that do weird shit. Oh, crap. Hold on. I forgot what the room looked like. So the chair is out, the radio is on the right-hand side, and the plants are on the left. Okay. So that's out. You are on the right-hand side. You are upright. And that plant is on the left. Done. Hold on. I'm curious, because I've never actually looked at this. What is this? It says it's game copyrights. Why is this here? So there is a journal about video game copyrights in the Ocean View. Why? What is this doing here? One and 2 or one episode 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, so they broke it up into 3 separate videos then. I'll have to check it out then. No, as far as we know, Jericho Fox, this hotel is only in this game. However, in the trailer for Alan Wake 2, they do reference the Ocean View. If you look at the scene where Alan's in the city streets and you see all the neon signs, there is some neon lights that mention the Ocean View. Whee! Okay, let's go ahead and get out of here and get back to the oldest house. Kaboom. And boop. Here we go. Now, I'm not sure how much more we're going to be going on for tonight. I think I want to, at the very least, get through this section. But let's go. Not that way. Where are we at? This way. Hold on. Oh, nothing. Holy shit, nothing is. Okay, hold on. That is right. Paul Serene did have a dream referencing being in a place with 6 doors. Now, for some reason in my head, I imagined that dream entirely differently, where it was basically just a place of like pure, I don't want to say pure darkness, but just a vacant place with no walls, and 6 doors just standing erect inside of that, where you could like walk around the door and see that it's perfectly fine. Or there's nothing on the other side, you know what I mean? So it's like a circle of 6 doors. But... oh... okay, hold on, guys. Hold the fucking phone. Okay, I'm pulling this up right the fuck now. We're putting the game on pause until we figure this out. Okay. Quantum Break. Paul Dreams. Okay, Dream Journal number 5. I think this is it. Okay. Recent activity. I'm recalling the wheat field belonging to my grandparents. The world's destruction time had stopped. Unmistakable sign of my greatest fear approaching. Threads. So it's not Dream Journal number 5. It's a different Dream Journal. Hold on, let's find it. Hold the fucking phone. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, actually, sorry, nothing is. I'm looking at it right now. Here is, I'm reading from Paul's Dream Journal right now. And it's not 6 doors, it is 7 doors. So I recall a haunting image of 7 red doors. Each door had a wrought iron handle that was dripping liquid metal onto the ground, creating a pool in the middle of the room. I looked down into the aqueous metallic glow at my feet and saw my own glimmering reflection, revealing that I had aged half a lifetime. So yeah, I think it's a different imagery entirely. I mean, the doors, which is the name of the door, references Quantum Break's universe. So, oh, you talk about the one that specifically says doors. Okay. So the one that has all the rectangles might actually reference this reality that Paul is referring to being the doors, quote unquote. Okay. Frankly, I always looked at this symbol as a reference to, weirdly enough, House of Leaves, because if you look in the back of House of Leaves and some of the artwork, the image of that, where it looks like there's multiple doors kind of superimposed upon each other, it looks very similar to that on the Ocean View. Sorry, I had to look that up. Yeah, it's not part of the dream, but I see where you're going with this. jeez, come on. Wait, seriously? Like 20-minute. Oh my god. So I was mentioning the customer that would call us like after drunk off his ass at like 10 o'clock at night. He left my coworker a 30-minute voicemail of him just randomly rambling about stuff. What the fuck? I'm sorry. Let's not bring real life into this. Okay. Let's see what we got here.
Okay, we need to find a way to Blackrock processing. That's where Marshall said we'd find a prism.
Okay, again, sequence breaking to get into this room prematurely, but whatever. No, I haven't finished Jacoba, but I've seen that artwork. I've poked around it a little bit. Yeah, that would be really cool if Paul actually had a dream of him in the ocean view, because that would be that'd be fucking amazing. Anyways, let's listen to this real quick.
Reminder. If the contents of your workspace have been rearranged, removed, added to, or altered in any other way, you should immediately leave the area while speaking to yourself in a reassuring tone. This will not only keep you calm, but also the room. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. So if anything moves in your office space, just start saying, there's nothing wrong here, it's perfectly fine, it's okay. It's okay, and rocking back and forth, it's okay. Nothing's wrong here, let's just keep on moving, stay calm. It's like, what the fuck? This place would be such a trip to work in. Atlas theory. Okay, this is one that I am going to write down because I have random thoughts about the Atlas. So we'll discuss that in 2 seconds. There is no war in Bossing Say. Oh my god, Jacoba, don't even reference that. Oh my god, it's so true. Anyways, so the Atlas is a physical expression created by the oldest house. Its purpose and function are currently unknown. The specific shape and dimensions of the Atlas, see file blah 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 for said dimensions, seems to indicate a more explicit purpose than the oldest house's usual walls, floors, or shifts. The Atlas changes form, but resists observation when doing so. No visual observation has been made during its change, and it only ever occurs between frames when monitored by surveillance cameras. A previous theory was that this change corresponds to the house shifts, and that the Atlas is maybe a small model of the oldest house itself, possibly something like that. However, the shape changes do not occur at the same time as the building shifts, which makes this theory doubtful. Structurally, the Atlas is made of the same black rock material, maybe, possibly, as the rest of the oldest. Oh, no, not the black rock, but the same something material as the rest of the oldest house. Further observation will hopefully aid in discovering its purpose. Alright, so I do have some thoughts on the Atlas, but we'll talk about that in 2 seconds, to be 100% honest. We just have to get to it, because we need to look at it first. And hop down. Boop. Oh, we got some shit going on. I think we actually have some gameplay again, finally. Yeah, we actually got a fight. Let's go. Hey, you. Get out of my... This is my house. Get off my lawn. Okay, let's get a little room real quick. Hey, you. Guess what? Oh, right in the face. Hey, you. Guess what? Hi there. Oh, wow, I'm out. I'm stuck here. Go through the glass. There we go. Perfect. Oh, crap! You little shithead! This guy sniped me. swear. We done? We done here? Shitheads want any more? That's right! Alright, let's get going. And shift. Oh gosh. Sorry, my coworker is now calling me, so 2 seconds, I will need to be right back. Oh my fucking god, guys. Okay, I am back. I am sorry about that long ass delay, but woo. Some customers, man. Oh my sweet Lanta. Okay, where were we? What were we doing? You ever have those customers where you go above and beyond? I literally have one of my project managers right now still in the office 5 hours after our company closes shop to try to take care of this guy. We are doing free work to help get him taken care of, and he still finds a way to not be happy for some reason. We are doing literally close to like $1,000 worth of free work just to get this done, and he still can't be happy. Whatever. Moving onwards.
During an AWE investigation, our agents discovered a light switch cord in a Butte bungalow closet. They pulled the cord and were instantly transported to the Ocean View Motel and Casino. Dream like hell!
No!
Inside, they found a door marked with an inverted black pyramid.
I love
Just
this
like
man.
It led back to the oldest house, some 2,000 miles from Montana. Now we're finding the cord in increasing numbers throughout the Bureau. Somehow the two places, they became in tune to each other. The actual physical location of the Ocean View is a mystery. Stepping beyond its walls has so far proven impossible. A place of power, like the oldest house.
Yep. And we don't know where it's at. So again, the only places of power we know where they exist is one, the oldest house, 2, Cauldron Lake, the oil derricks outside of Desert Shore, Arizona, but the Ocean View, we have no freaking clue where this place is located. Wait, did I pause again? No, we should be good. Oh shit, sorry, nothing is. I'm so used to just pausing it to listen to it. I apologize about that. I actually could believe that, Tacoba. That would be a great thing, is they literally just threw freaking Matthew Peretta into a room, threw glasses and a lab coat on him, and said, just improv and we'll just roll with it. Alright.
I'm glad to see you're still you.
Arish! My boy, how you doing?
Medic, what's the damage?
They've each taken a few hits. We need to get them to a surgical station ASAP, but I don't think they're stable enough to move.
Oh yeah? Well, they're gonna have to be, because we are moving out and I am not leaving them behind. Now do what you need to do.
Oh shit, I completely forgot this. Actually, let us talk to everyone in here. Let's head down and look at the Atlas, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up the stream. But let's look at these first. Alright, Trench's behavior, according to Marshall. Have you noticed the recent tension between Trench and Darling? They've both been acting odd lately. Trench concerns me the most. His sudden hostility towards Darling's project is very unlike him. He was the one to approve all this Hedron research in the first place, but after Darling unveiled those HRAs, he was livid. I personally don't see any reason not to equip the Bureau staff with any additional protective devices, especially not if it's as strong as Darling says. What do you make of this? Have you seen anything from either of them that strikes you as odd? Let's talk in person before the next Bureau heads meeting. M. This is going to the head of security right here. Alright, and then, okay, I will not pause on this one.
Ranger Squad Charlie 7 returned from an expedition into the quarry threshold just after 0500 Zulu. Can you please state your names and describe the purpose of your expedition?
Kevin Horowitz, Rupert Wells. Our mission was to map quarry grid coordinates G29. Secondary objective, as always, was to find a route from the threshold entrance.
Horowitz, we know that name.
Secondary objective was not a success.
What a surprise. And did you encounter any previously unrecorded event or entity while inside the threshold?
No, nothing. Do you think we should tell him about the mermaid?
Wells!
Excuse me?
Yeah, the mermaid. Horowitz here found this mermaid in the quarry, just sitting on some black rock. She was singing this beautiful song, and he was overcome with desire. She was so alluring. I'd say she was more enchanting than alluring. Fine, enchanting.
Did you tell your CO about this?
No. Because it didn't happen. Nothing happened. As usual, the quarry is full of rocks. That's it. Can we go now?
Fuck you guys. Get out of here.
So, for those who have played the game,
So hot.
you'll
You're
recognize
fine.
the names
We'll push through
Horowitz
this.
and
The Hiss are the ones doing the
Wells.
pushing, Doc.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Expedition Surfboard Supplement. And kaboom! Delete that. Alright, Arish! How you doing, my good friend?
Hey, thanks for bringing down that... whatever the fuck that was. But we are barely holding on here, boss. How's the situation outside maintenance?
What do I tell him? The truth is harsh, but these people seem familiar with death.
The Hiss are everywhere. Most of the Bureau is lost. We need Blackrock Prism to make more HRAs for any survivors in the safe rooms. I'm here to check Darling's Blackrock lab.
So to recap, death, disaster, and imminent destruction. Another day at the FBC. Well, Darling's lab is just past Blackrock processing. But I got good news and I got bad news on that front. Good news is, it's right down the hall. Bad news is, a Hiss monster has decided to move in, so...
Great. That's great.
Monster.
That's what the Rangers said. The ones that survived, anyway. We are just treading water here, and the Hiss keep coming. Salvador would know what to do, but apparently he took a security team into the containment sector just before the lockdown happened, and, well, no one's seen him since. But hey, at least we got you, our fearless leader.
They shouldn't rely on me. They don't know me. They don't know how I've failed people.
You've done a good job here, Arish, but you should take your people and get to the base in Executive. You can regroup there. I'll go deal with this monster. I'm getting kind of used to them.
Copy.
Aye, aye, Faden. And be sure to put a bullet in that thing for me.
You got it. Alright, let's see if he has any more dialogue before we run out.
Put more pressure on that wound.
He does not have any more dialogue. Okay, so that part's done. Let's go down and take a look at the Atlas real quick. And the Atlas is this bad boy right here. Now, they have been trying to figure out what the hell this bad boy is. It seems to shift around and change structure for no reason, but they have no idea what for. That being said, there are photographs and random ropes all over it that seem to just be levitation abilities, oldest house. And I don't know if we're the ones actually putting these up here. That being said, there are actual documents on Jesse right here on this Atlas. Why they're here, who put them here, no fecking clue. They're just a bunch of screenshots of standing behind Jesse, staring over her shoulder. It's literally the view of the player as we're playing the game. And there's even some things, if you look at that bottom one right there, that we should not know about yet. That shows somebody watching a refrigerator. Some Polaroids of Jesse all over the place. Now, the only thing I could potentially say about the Atlas has to do with the etymology of the word. Now, obviously, Atlas, one, refers to many things. It could be the globe. So, like, we refer to a map or a globe of the Earth as an atlas. Also, the name Atlas is from Greek mythology. It's a titan of pride that holds the world on his shoulders. Again, that's where we get the term Atlas from to begin with. Now, that being said, there is another word for the term Atlas, which has its base in medical physiology. So, the Atlas is actually the point of the human spine at the base of the skull, where the spinal column meets the, what is it, that part of at the bottom of the brain where all the nerve junctions meet. and connect into the brain. It's called the atlas. So it's basically the nerve junction that connects the spinal column and the human brain itself. And if we use that context, it might be considered that this could be the nerve center or the brain of the oldest house. Whether that's true or not, I have no fucking clue, but that's literally the closest I can get to it. That is literally the closest I can get to it, is this is referencing that part of the human brain. But other than that, I have no fucking idea. But whatever, let's move on. Actually, let me go ahead and save real quick. What do we want? We have a few of these right here. So let's grab a little extra energy. Let me see, what do we want? Launch damage, I think we're okay for right now. Let's grab a little extra health. And then let's grab a little extra energy. And just because we want to use this, let's be able to throw grenades back at people. Okay, collect reward, give us you, dodge efficiency, that's completely fucking useless. And we don't have enough ritual impulse to actually get that, whatever. I don't know, Draco Fox. Like, it could be imagination, it could be the brain, it could be the point of the oldest house where the consciousness of the house itself meets with the physical body. Like, because that's what the central nervous system is at the end of the day. It's the central point of nerves that allows the rest of the body to basically function. And this is me speaking not as a doctor or someone who studies the human biology. This is just my general understanding. So if I'm wrong, actually, no, that's a lie. Correct me if I'm wrong. But apologies if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, the closest thing I can figure about what this serves purpose is, this has to do with where the central, the nervous system connects with the human brain.
Why does my head feel like this? Is it the hiss or a concussion?
Tequila. That's why. Just saying. Moving on. Actually, because of what we're about to walk into, let's go ahead and end the stream off here. Because we're about to enter another big section again, and I don't want to get too far into it. Boop. Dodge efficiency, okay, that's lovely. Alright guys, so that's gonna be at the end of this stream right here. We will continue on and try to secure a new source of black rock in the next episode, which we are going to be doing on Friday. Same time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard. I will put the notification up tomorrow morning for when this is going to occur, but besides that, I think that's about it for right now. If you do have any more questions about stuff we covered in the game, feel free to comment it, and I will get all the cards put up tomorrow morning because I gotta let the video finish rendering the VOD before I'm allowed to add them in. But all that will be handled in the morning. Other than that, we are good. Anyways, guys, I will talk to you all on Friday. Have a lovely evening. Thank you all so much for hanging out, by the way. And don't worry, Draco Fox, I will go check out the rec room for those photos you showed me at the end of the day. Yeah, thank you so much. Absolutely, Tacoba. I love doing these streams. They are a lot of fun. They break up my weeks to the point so my job doesn't drive me crazy, which unfortunately tonight the job decided to interrupt the stream, but whatever. We'll go ahead and move past that. But anyways, I'll see you all on Friday. Have a lovely evening or a lovely day depending on where you at in the world. Take it easy.